Just one touch and I'm lost inside your love. Just one touch means more than words can say. Just one touch and I know I'm gonna stay for always. Gypsy road.
All right. Hello, great people.
Hey, what was that?
That was cool.
That was my. I just added a little intro, and okay, guys, why am I wearing glasses? Okay, I'm gonna tell you why I'm wearing glasses on the show. I'm not doing this just to do. I'm not behind a green screen, and the reason is, I had to take my wife to work this morning. My daughter is at her friend's house. So what does that mean, Bob? What does that mean? Why am I up here?
Because you have to watch the dog.
I gotta watch all the dogs. So, and because Bob goes, when I first came on with Bob goes, dude, you look so dark. It is dark. So I actually have a floodlight shining right in my eyes so you can see me. So if I'm not wearing these, I can't. Oh, girly, stop. Oh, I'm sorry. That dog's gonna drive me freaking nuts. I'm serious.
Well, I just have to say, I am such a team player, and this is the synchronicities, Robert. Your brother doesn't even know this. I've been on 2 other shows today, so it's a joke. I put these on. Funny. He didn't even know I was going to do this. I didn't know he was going to talk about sunglasses. Now, the cool thing about it is they're not prescription. I cannot see literally anything on the screen, but I did it for comedic effect. But isn't that funny?
No, I was gonna say that. I go, did you guys didn't talk. You just came on like right now.
Bob, this is what else is funny, right? They're talking about crows and birds today, right?
Yeah.
It's what I'm doing today.
What?
Cooking birds.
I can't see. What is that?
Ooh.
I am cooking birds.
You're cooking bird meat.
Not quite the same idea, but yeah, okay, it works.
And I'm cooking birds today.
Oh, there we go. Hey, these are big enough to fit. Okay, cool. We can do this. I like this.
When he said bird, I was hungry already. I was like, would you guys talk about chicken or pheasants? I love pheasants. I love doves.
This is the question of the day. What's in the bag?
Marinade.
I'm not having dinner at your house if it's mystery. You don't know.
Oh no, that's tri-tip.
Oh,
that's beautiful.
Oh fuck, that's
how long did you marinate it,
dude? Did you get that from a guy in a van? Because that's expensive shit now. He got a whole bunch of meat. I bet that's like $20-something.
Public disclaimer: I've said this before. Don't buy your meat from a van. Only you're getting your candy if they give it away free in the van.
Yes. Yes, it's a disclaimer. Don't buy your sushi from a van.
Only get that from a gas station that was left for you. Right?
And actually, you can use that philosophy for anything. Like you don't go to a church and buy, or a guy who don't know his Bible or don't know his Torah. The same things. You don't go to a fucking guy in a van for sushi. You're gonna get sick. You're gonna get the wrong shit.
Now,
this is the weirdest thing. This is freaking me out because I did this as a joke 2 minutes before you turn on my camera, and now you're talking about you're wearing sunglasses.
Synchronicity.
It's so bizarre.
It's right in my eyes. I can't see it.
I love it.
I'm gonna show you guys. See?
Yeah. Salted meat.
I'm just doing it because of my fans. I try not to be recognized. I'm everywhere now. Now I'm hanging out with the guy in Tesla's car. We're going for a road trip after the show.
Notice Tesla's car.
Now,
Tesla's car.
Bob, you said tri-tips got expensive. Now let's talk about that actually real quick before we get nerdy with the nerds. Okay. Now tri-tip used to on average price at Costco was $6.99. Then they went to fucking $12.99 because of what's going on out there. $12.99.
The Crenanny.
I went last week to get my big roll of toilet paper because I gotta have a lot of shit paper, and it was $8.99, not $6.99, but $8.99. So I bought a couple.
Good, man.
So, all right, guys, let's get nerdy. Now this is nerd. So any nerdy stuff you guys want to talk about is cool, but I want to talk about this is my nerd topic of the day for myself. Now, does everybody know what the Annabelle doll looks like?
That was me.
Annabelle doll. I didn't know what it looked like. You got to tell me yesterday.
I know. I have never seen the movie. I know of her, and I know, it's just one more like Chucky kind of thing. Yeah.
That's the wrong one. I don't want to show this one yet. Hold on.
Yeah.
That's not the one I want to show. I want to show a picture of Annabelle dolls for a second. Has Annabelle
dolls.
Okay. Now, the Annabelle doll is actually the stuffed animal doll, and then the one on the left is actually the Annabelle doll they used in the movie Annabelle. Okay? Because for one thing, they didn't have the rights to use the real Annabelle doll in the first place. Okay, so in the
Wait. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Isn't that Raggedy Ann, Raggedy Andy? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. Annabelle. Okay, the story of Annabelle is about a doll is a conduit. So the original doll of Annabelle is actually a Raggedy Ann doll.
Have fun with this. Show a Raggedy Ann doll on there, and you guys will see a Mandela effect.
For a second, let me. So in the movie,
I'll pull up while he talks. Go ahead.
They can't use the Annabelle. They couldn't use the Raggedy Ann doll because at first they didn't have the rights. And who's going to be scared from an Annabelle doll? From a Raggedy Ann doll? Sorry, from a Raggedy Ann doll. Oh, I'm going to kill that dog. So Raggedy.
Figuratively, not literally.
Yeah, Raggedy Ann doll. Okay, so now in the sequel to the Annabelle, they allowed the movie to use the doll at the end, a real Raggedy Ann doll at the end as like a saying, "Oh, she's a foster child. Here's the doll for you, Raggedy Ann." Okay, now going back to it. Now, Raggedy Ann has only been used in like 3 movies, all the Annabelle movies, all the Conjuring movies. Okay, now I actually found a footage of another movie. You guys remember Michael J. Fox movie called The Frighteners?
Yeah, The Frighteners. I love that movie. Very few people know it.
Produced by Robert Zemeckis, who did the Back to the Future movie.
Mm-hmm.
And
Roger Rabbit.
Actually directed by Peter Jackson. It was great CGI back in the day. Now, when I remember of that movie, before I get to the Raggedy Ann doll part of it, that movie when it came out used to be called Frighteners. Okay, because the movie's about Frighteners. Now it's called The Frighteners. The word "the" is in the title now. Because if you think about Frighteners and The Frighteners, it doesn't make sense. Why would you call it The Frighteners?
You know, it's really funny. This Mandela stuff is crazy because that's one of my most favorite movies. And for my reality, it had the, so I had taken the update on that one. That's weird to me. Yeah, that's a weird one. You and I usually sync on everything.
Yeah, Eric asked me yesterday. He tested it first. Eric comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, you remember that movie with Michael J. Fox, blah, blah, blah?" I go, "Yeah, Frighteners." Eric goes, what is it called? I go, "Frighteners." Eric goes, "Do you remember anything else on the title?" I said, "No, it's called Frighteners." I go, "What are you talking about?" Eric goes, "Have you seen it?" I go, "No, it's called The Frighteners." I go, "No, it's called Frighteners."
See, they took it from the Ramones. I think they stole their because the Ramones are now just Ramones.
I know,
not the Ramones.
The Ramones.
Just like the Eagles. So they're losing their thes in movies like this or finding it, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, it's bouncing. I know why.
There's a scene in the movie. I'm telling you, within my heart, the scene was not there. I'm telling you, in my heart, the scene was not there. Okay. Now, the scene is if anybody seen the movie Frighteners, Michael J. Fox ran over a fence. He owes the guy money, so he decided to haunt the house on purpose so that they have to call him to get rid of the ghost so he doesn't have to pay for the fence. Okay? There's a little scene in the bedroom. Watch what attacks this girl. Let me go back to this. Let's watch. Now, there's no sound. When I recorded off my phone because I cannot find this scene on YouTube, so I use my phone, so there's no sound, but just watch. Oh, shit. Spinning in a circle.
No.
Oh, here it goes. Okay, she was just attacked by a Raggedy Ann doll. That Raggedy Ann doll was not used in any other movie. It was only been used in 3 movies, and the Raggedy Ann doll attacked her, and it wasn't there. Now, remember the movie Twister? There was a teddy bear that flew across the car that was not there. Where the hell does the Raggedy Ann doll come from?
Do you have Vin's number from The Walking Dead? Can we get him on this one?
Yeah.
He'll remember there was no Raggedy Ann doll.
And again, I loved this movie. That seems odd to me. I mean, like, because when I heard about the Annabelle stuff and all that, this would have triggered in my head. Because what's interesting is the synchronicities again. As doing research for my episode I did with Rose with the birds and the crows, I was saying how they always portray them evil. And while I did that, I came across a movie, a TV movie I saw as a kid, which scared the crap out of me. It was the Trilogy of Terror. And it's this one chick, Karen Black, who always looked evil. And there's a little voodoo doll her husband brings home from a trip. And it comes to life and tries to kill her. It was way before any of these movies because it was in the 70s. And that popped up as one of the things when I was doing my research on birds. And now you're talking about crazy little, doll things. And just like when the Trilogy of Terror thing came out, in my mind, I remembered all these things. I think I really would have remembered a Raggedy Ann in The Frighteners because it was one of my favorite movies that hardly anyone ever saw. So that seems odd. Just like your teddy bear was totally wrong.
That is a Raggedy Ann doll.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say teddy bear. You're talking about the teddy bear in the front in the windshield.
Yeah, the Twister.
Yeah, Twister. Yeah, I was gonna say. I was just gonna say.
Out of nowhere, this random bear flies into the window. It makes a loud squeak noise over the hurricane. You can hear or tornado.
No.
You can hear squeak.
So no, same with this. Same with this. No. Also, Simple Minds. If you guys watch the Simple Mind videos, they've all been Mandela affected, and there's a lot of teddy bears in them. So
really,
yeah. Don't
you just watch Simple? Isn't that the ones Everyone Wants to Rule the World? Isn't that their song?
No. That's different. That's Tears for Fears. Simple Minds. Listen to Simple Minds. You know Simple Minds when you hear them.
Yeah, we just were listening to them the other night. So anyway, go ahead. Eric wants to talk. It's his show. Sorry. What's up, Eric?
Birds.
No. That was just kind of my nerd thing that I saw, and I thought it was real neat. I mean, that was not there before. I'm just telling you, that doll was not in the movie. I'm telling you right now, it was not in the movie. So if you guys want to check it out yourself, I know not Raggedy Ann. The movie Frighteners is on HBO, I think. So that's my nerd of the day. Now, I actually did watch another movie last night that actually did have the word "the" in it. I don't know if it's a nerd movie, but most people probably passed it by. Most people probably hated it, didn't even watch it. You guys remember Rockstar?
Oh,
I know the movie. I didn't see it.
Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg.
Where he plays like he wants to be somebody else, and he sings like somebody else, but then the band fires the original singer. They hired him. It's actually a damn good movie. When I was watching it, and I was like, wow, it's kind of a true kind of a movie that people go through now because a lot of people now try to pretend they're somebody else.
Yeah.
They pretend so much. They don't listen to nobody outside. They don't listen to anybody. They don't have a mind of its own until he goes through the shit and learns in life that shit, these people just used me. They're not actually wanting my help because when he was trying to say, hey, I got a song here. No, we don't. We do the songs, you don't. So the movie actually has a cool message, and the movie in Seattle, where it becomes real in life in Seattle, where we are all in Seattle.
Well, it's funny because in the movie, the lead singer is badass. He's like all the girls love him. And then when Wahlberg goes in to take his spot, he comes in like a little sassy bitch. Yeah, he turns into gay.
He's actually bald-headed.
He had his wig off, and I'm like, whoa.
And the song he's been woman is actually he wrote it for a man.
So they're all being Tom Cruise, and we're being like, I think Friendless said it, where someone did in the chat. We're the anti-Tom Cruise of this.
We're the anti-Tom Cruise. We're wearing our
sunglasses. So now they'll recognize people. Either you'll wear a mask or not, and if you don't wear a mask, and if you're wearing sunglasses, you know what I mean?
They know who you are. The first rule of Fight Club is we don't talk about Fight Club. Here we go.
Okay. I always like to do research for this channel, and I never know where we're going because the thumbnails really don't give you too much guidance, but I love them. They're awesome.
Nerd, come on. Nerd, figure it out. But what's your nerd? What's your nerd you think?
Well, it's something that my wife turned me on to on The Matrix because it's it's an unusual movie for her. She's not into those kind of movies, but it's been her favorite forever. And we have mimicked this line from the movie our entire lives, because whenever someone says, well, yeah, it's whatever, but it's not like this, we say it like the gal does at when she's going to get killed by Cypher, and she realizes she's going to die, and she goes, not like this, not like this. At least to me, she had an accent.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so check this out. I haven't heard anybody else talk about this before.
Oh yeah, the French
Let's
girl.
see if I can share this. Yeah,
The hot
and I
French
remember
lady.
her with an accent saying "not like this."
Yes, the French lady.
Am
Yes,
I
she had a
sharing?
heavy French accent. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, do you see it? Is it there?
Yes.
Okay, let's see if the sound will come up and listen to what she says.
Wait. If you have anything terribly important to say to Switch, I suggest you say it now.
No, please don't. Not like this. Not like this.
To me, it just doesn't sound the same in my head, but maybe
it's
I'm
like-
wrong.
It's like what's his name? Arnold Schwarzenegger. How his all
Oh
changed.
yeah, that one.
Yeah, like Schwarzenegger. All of his. I'll be back.
I'll be
Hey,
back.
hey.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah. Hey, I'll be right back. I'll be back. Eric, I'll be back. No,
Whoa,
that's
whoa,
not.
hold on,
Arnold
hold on.
Schwarzenegger.
Are you saying that he doesn't say "I'll be back"?
No,
No,
here, I'll
he's-
play it. I'll play it.
Yeah,
it's
play it.
freaking
Play it.
great.
Shut up. You just do an opinion.
Let's see.
Since we're going into the people changing voices.
Hey, this is nerd talk. This is nerd. So
Yeah. Well, this is what you wanted. So hopefully, and I don't know if anyone else in the chats, I didn't read it, but if anybody else agrees with us, because that sounds weird to us when she says all.
Yeah,
Not
I
like
know
these.
it's changing the words. It did
Okay.
mine yesterday. I watched the video
Right.
yesterday. Go ahead.
Am I sharing?
See. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Let's see. Where does he say it? It's somewhere up here.
it comes right there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll be back.
Back.
I'll be back.
It doesn't have the same
Yeah,
the same
no.
bite to it or whatever. You know.
He's
It's
saying
just
that your
hard.
back's gonna get better.
He doesn't
Because
look
mine-
badass.
Mine healed. My back healed. So I mean, I think he's saying to all you guys out there, your back's gonna heal. It's
Maybe
not
that's
the way
what it is. Maybe that's the message
Yeah,
that
it could be.
it's back.
that he's not strong. He's not tough no more. People with these backs aren't strong. We're weirdos. We have
Yeah.
mental issues. Now they
Bad
make it
back.
look like he's a mental issue person.
Yeah. And the
Makes
first thing on his mind was his bad back.
Yeah.
I'll be back. Oh, I'll be back. That's what he was saying. He didn't say I'll be back. Like Bach, like Bach. I'll be
Yeah.
back.
Well, that was the thing. People used to make that joke. I'll be Bach, you be
be Bach.
Beethoven. That was the joke. But if
Yeah.
he doesn't say it like Bach, then there's no joke. So then the joke is, I'll be back, you be
I'll
Beethoven.
be back.
Like what?
No, it's you got Tom Cruise it a little bit, dude. I'll be back.
I'll be
You
back.
gotta beat your eyes.
You gotta take the sunglasses off. Yeah.
Yeah, beat your eyes. I'll be back.
Now you're doing the Clint Eastwood.
I
I'm
do the
still
Clint Eastwood.
pissed at you for that, Robert. Show me that. Find that Clint Eastwood.
He was my hero
That-
too, man. We're literally going and finding all these Tom Cruise's people, and we're just
Yeah.
making fun of them. This is our whole
I
show.
know. We're
Oh, man,
supposed
I love
to do this. We're supposed to not have any idols. But
I'll
at
be
the same
back.
time, it sure hurts when
I'll be back.
when you see Clint
be
Eastwood
Black
look like
Lives
just a fembot woman, whatever he was doing, blinking his eyes and saying something.
Yeah,
If
Yeah.
if somebody in the chat has a nerd change you think is kind of cool and funny, just let me know in the chat and I'll put you on. Just let me
Let me
know.
add to this real fast, guys, before we lose this. At the end of my brain works great. At the end of the zombie movie with Woody Harrelson
Zombie-
Zombieland.
and Zombieland 2, at the end of the scene where he gets married at the end of the scene, the car is driving away with cans and there's zombies running. He he mocks it. He says, I'll be back in the car. He gives you a
Really?
truth drop.
He
Yeah.
does.
Now that's
Yeah.
before. Now you're talking about right before the extra scene, because the extra scene is Bill Murray beating up everybody.
Oh no, that's before the Bill Murray beat up everybody's scene. Yeah. He goes, I'll be back in the car. He says it the way I remembered it being said. It's like
We're at right at the very end. You're talking.
yeah, in the car with the wedding cans, it's like the last part. You'll see it.
Let's see.
So it might be evidence of the of Hollywood mocking us again.
They're in like a pink Cadillac. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. Open pink Cadillac. Because, Woody Harrelson's character, he's like an Elvis fan. So it's the pink Cadillac.
All right. Somewhere
Is it
around
the
this
same?
area or no?
Somewhere around that area. Like Woody's almost driving away. Like literally the last second of the scene. So you don't get too many you don't get copyrighted.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to.
Where?
Well, I guess I could put it in this. Well, but then you wouldn't hear it properly. We'll just find that like that second. Let's see where he's talking. Well, there's where the cans are. Let's try this.
It's the people you're.
Yeah.
Like that scene, like that ass scene. Try that.
Top, Little Rock, Reno, and Tallahassee saying, "Hasta la vista, baby."
Oh,
you Flagstaff.
Oh, okay. Well, you screwed that one up. That was not worth it. It takes a lot.
Well, he still said, okay, I got it wrong. He still says hasta la vista, baby, the way we used to remember it.
Yeah, all right. That's true.
That's changed too. So that's changed too. Damn it, I got the wrong one. I remember that one's changed too.
That's right. We'll just edit this out. No one will notice. So don't worry.
He says it more gay, like hasta la vista, baby. Like it's really not good.
I'll look for that, but talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. I got somebody in England gave me one. So you guys were talking about birds. Oddly enough, here we go with our synchronicity. Oddly with birds, if you guys are into Jamiroquai, he wears that big ass hat. He's an English soul singer, Jamiroquai, who wears a big ass hairy hat. And in his I forgot the name of the movie. He's in a room. There's a movie where he's in, or a video he makes where he's in a room, Jamiroquai, and he's dancing in this room. And the room is changing. It's constantly changing. So somebody in England turned me on to this to watch this, and I have been watching this thing fucking change. It keeps changing. And so in the video now, it's not the way I remembered it. It wasn't dark and creepy, I'll tell you that. It's dark and creepy now because it includes birds, crows, like you guys were talking about earlier. Talking about crows and birds. Dark birds are flying in this room.
You said birds?
Birds and cockroaches. There's cockroaches and blood. There's what? I was like, wait, when did the cockroaches and the blood and the fucking dark birds go flying through this video? So if you guys are in a Jamiroquai and he's in that room, look for that video. You might just see some things that you have never seen before. I'm just letting people know it's a Jamiroquai fan with the hairy hat. Here we go with the hat again. So the videos with the hats are the ones that are the most changing. So he's got a big hairy hat on. Jamiroquai. Still looking for that. Hasta la vista, baby. I think I saw that. I know that on somebody else's channel. I saw someone was doing all Arnold Schwarzenegger's. Arnold. All his shit is turned into like Tom Cruise. You guys rock.
Okay, I was muted. I was sorry, but I sound like Karen. I was muted.
Why would they do that to us? Why would they Tom Cruise all of our movies, man?
All of them, man.
Yeah,
all of them. Even the Verve. You guys watch that Verve? That there's a song, "Bittersweet Symphony."
I love that
Bittersweet. Yeah, the Verve. If you watch the video, though. He goes. He's a Rosicrucian, but people don't know that. As he's walking through the video, he's walking through a sidewalk where he's just bumping shoulders. He's not stopping for anybody.
It's a great video. It's perfect.
The video has constantly. Every time we do a shift, it's I'm giving away my controls. It sucks. I'm giving away one of my controls. So here's a control. The Verve, the song, will always have somebody new in it all the time. There'll be somebody new on the sidewalk. Wow. There'll be somebody in the background. There'll be somebody new. There'll be like a new thing happen when he's walking down the sidewalk. Every fucking video. So if you're in that,
because my wife, we love that. We play it because it's really, truly, I think, one of the best videos ever made. Because I love his attitude. I know it's not real Jesus whatever, but it's so freaking funny. All the entire video, it's that great song and probably some weird mind control stuff. That's why we like it.
Yeah.
All he does is just walk, and he doesn't give a shit. And he literally bumps into people, and they turn around all upset, and he doesn't even look back. And at
With
one point, it
sunglasses.
looks like he's going to get jumped because all these people follow him and trying to be his band, and they all walk with him.
Yeah.
And then one gal gets in his face. He just doesn't even see it. It's really funny.
No.
I love it.
It's one of my number one controls. So if you're a fan of that, you and your wife should get some popcorn, put on that video, and say, okay, honey, now we're going to look for things that we don't remember and see if you can call something out. As it from beginning to end, you're going to see things. You're going to be You're going to spend 2 hours on that video, stopping it and slow motioning it. No, don't remember that. No, don't remember that. There's going to be all kinds of changes in that video. You could just make a whole video on it and do a whole analysis on the fucking video for each person that is new. And there's even a midget in there. A midget. It was never a midget.
It's a midget. Okay, I'm watching it again. All right,
Wait,
Eric,
look-
here you go. I pulled
Disclaimer.
up your thing, Eric. Here with
Little person.
Hey Bob,
Terminator.
she wrote, wasn't he the mayor of California? Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Yeah, he was
was the
governor.
mayor of California.
Governor.
She didn't say that right.
Governor.
Governor.
He was running. He had a woman running against him, and he told her something like, "I'll be back," or "Hasta la vista," or something to her, because she was like making fun of his movies or something, and he used it. So I remember. I'm just letting Elizabeth know. I remember Arnold saying something that to a woman who was running against him for mayor. I can't remember exactly, but he used a line in one of his movies against her, which everybody. It was awesome. But here we go.
He was married to I think a Kennedy. He's married to one of the Kennedys, and he was humping on a maid.
And then he had a baby with one of his maids, that looked just like him.
Yeah, right. That was the funniest picture. You see this kid that's like the total gap tooth. He looks just like a miniature version, and no one realizes it. Yeah, that's funny. All right, I'll play this and see what you guys think. Let's hear if we hear it different.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah, it did sound really weird. It doesn't sound like it's coming out of his voice.
It's an A.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Baby.
Hey,
Hey, baby.
Hasta la vista, not hasta la. Like an A. It's the A again. There's your lambda.
If I have to be honest with this Terminator 2 movie, because everybody loved Terminator 2 over the first one, and everybody did. Almost everybody loves Terminator 2, and I'm like, are you off your fucking rocker? Terminator 1 was way better.
Way better.
Yeah.
I liked Arnold better when he was actually a bad guy shooting everybody up, where he kind of made himself a good guy. I didn't like that part of the movie. I liked him better when he fucks people up.
Yeah.
I didn't think.
You know what it is?
On that. That's just my opinion.
It seems like the original stories always have more of a storyline, and then the sequels, even though I love Terminator 2, but what do we love about it? The effects were amazing, like things we'd never seen before. So that's what they started doing with all these Hollywood movies. They don't write any new stories. They steal them from like the Greeks and the Romans and all that stuff, and they put them in costumes and underwear on the outside, and then they do tons of special effects, and so we love it, you know. But you're right. The first movie, it had a plot and a story, and to me, when he comes back after we think he's been completely destroyed, and the movie goes on another half hour or so, that blew my mind because it was like you didn't see.
Thank you, Deborah. Thank you. The first one was just amazing.
I mean, don't you guys notice that? I mean, do you notice the sequel prequels are making the old films now? They're actually remaking all of the old films. Hollywood is in an overwhelmingly epidemic, just like this freaking whatever fake shit, remaking old movies. They're just remaking the old one. And there's nothing wrong with the old ones. They keep remaking movies. I'm like, oh, I see what you're doing.
They've run out of so many ideas. They're even remaking horrible movies. There was a movie called Valley Girl back in the 80s that no one should have seen, and they're remaking that one. I mean, what is going on?
Valley Girl I think it was one of the first movies that, oh, God, what's his name? It's an actor, a male actor. Oh, he's related.
Hang on. Nicolas Cage. He's in
Nicolas Cage. Steve Stubing, Biff Randall. I guess all these cool hip names, and then he's in there. He's his first role. Like,
you know what's interesting, Robert? My wife and I've talked about this a lot. Is that she always says I have the most random stuff in my head, and I used to make a joke. yeah, I can't make any money off it because, like, well, I'm still not, but still, Jeopardy. It's like all these really smart people, and you put it on, and you just feel really stupid. Well, now that I know the world the way it is, they've actually memorized nonsense and think they're smart. And yet we have all this random knowledge, or just like Michael Healy, I think, is in the room. I have another residue. It's a Volvo symbol on a money clip.
No.
Right way. Come on.
Volvo without the arrow. Oh, you got a residue.
Yeah.
Oh, Bob, after you guys talk about that, I gotta correct your statement.
So, but my point is that, like, we know and have random things that seem to be more important, and now we can laugh at the Jeopardy people when he's like, "Well, yes, Columbus did that," and we're like, and Abe Lincoln said this, and oh yeah, I don't think he was real. It's like
now we're the smartest people in the room.
Right,
That's kind of cool.
Right.
I do gotta make a correction of your statement, Bob. Remakes versus making new movies. Percentage-wise, you guys go all look it up. New movies are made 90% to 10% remakes. So remakes are not being more made over new movies. It's just people themselves don't care to watch new movies. They're only watching the remakes of the old stuff. They don't care for the new stuff. They're not opening up their minds. You might get lucky with one or two, but the percentage of remakes has never gone up. If you look at the last 20, 30 years, they haven't gone up. It's just at the movie theaters, people are not seeing new movies. They're only seeing remakes or rehash of a remake with new people. Yeah. So percentage-wise, remakes are not being made more. It's just people are not seeing it.
But you know what?
Studio, you're taking more of a chance gambling on a brand new movie, original idea, versus doing a remake. So it's kind of sad. It's like that, but I just want to throw that out there.
No, you're right, because you know what? We're these weird creatures of habit. That's why they put directors' names on movies, so that, oh, I know that director. I liked his last movie, and they do it with actors and stuff. And then, but the thing is they're also within realms. Like, take Star Wars. I loved all those movies. Well, not the middle ones that were whatever, but they literally made Star Wars, the first one, in 1977, and it was about, the rebels and all that fighting and blowing up the Death Star. And then on the third movie, they were on a teddy bear planet, and they were fighting the rebels and stuff, and they blew up the Death Star. And then you skip the next three because nobody cares about them except my kids. But then you go to the new ones that came out again, this last series of 3. We all went to it. I took my kids. It was so fun because now they're older. We get to enjoy it. Yeah. Literally, we watched the two guys fight each other, and they blow up the Death Star. And we walked out of there. We go, we paid for the same damn movie 3 times over like 30 years.
This is nerd talk. I'm going to defend the prequels. Okay, people hated the prequels. I'm going to defend the prequels because George Lucas always pushes the envelope forward. That's his deal. Pushes the envelope. The special effects for the first time you ever saw. The prequels did special effects CGI that you never saw before. Now the dialogue was stupid in it. I agree with that, but those were original. He did change things, which I believe he has a Mandela effect, and he didn't even know that he was making changes that doesn't match up with the original. Now prequels are original. Now when you go to the last 3 Star Wars, now they did not honor George Lucas because they never pushed those movies forward. You're right. The CEO of Disney had looked at data. He looked at the prequels like, this is original idea, but nobody liked it. Everybody bashed George Lucas, but everybody still loves the original. So what are we going to do? Do new stories, or we're going to rehash? We're going to rehash the originals. That's what he did. He went with the data that people were saying and rehashed the original versus moving forward and pushing the envelope for new special effects. So in a lot of ways, us people who bitch and complain about the prequels are the one that caused this effect to make a copy of the original 3, because George Lucas was forced to sell his company to Disney because he got tired of everybody bashing him. It's like people don't want original ideas anymore. People don't want push the envelope. Let's push the special effects, which he did on the prequels. Man, I mean, I know if you watch it now, the CGI might be out of date, but when you watch it during that time, George Lucas did some amazing work, but he got bashed for doing original special effects, original ideas. So Disney went back to the original and redid them. So we're causing this. We're causing this effect.
Yeah,
I agree with what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying because again, we're the ones that they're spoon feeding this because we recognize actors and directors. We get it. It's all about money. I get that. However, and there were very good parts to those movies. I will give you that. I'm not arguing that, but I'll throw a few things at you just to let you know. Because if I had a choice between watching the original Star Wars or any of the first three or any of the middle three, well, every time I'm going to the original. And I'll throw a few things at you. One, what's that guy? The Waka Waka guy? What was that dude? Jar Jar Binks. Okay. I'll throw that one at you. That's one. Just let me rattle them off and see what you think. Jar Jar Binks.
He was a joke.
What's that?
No, Jar Jar Binks was a joke. But there is one thing we do.
Oh, wait, I'm not done. Wait. You got a few more. Don't forget all the horrible lines between Padme and the metrosexual that she, was supposed to be Anakin.
Can I get my turn, Eric? Wait.
Dialogue was stupid. I did see that.
And then there was thousands of meetings. Like that one movie was like all meetings. Okay. And then I'll give one more thing at you. When you have a war between clones and robots, I really didn't care who won. You know what I mean? It's like, who cares?
George Lucas should have not directed his prequels. He should have let other people direct it. He directed it. The dialogue was stupid. It was moron. I mean, it was dumb. But
that's all. But you're right. There's some good parts.
And he should have pushed the envelope on the special effects, which he did. They should have mixed up the dialogue. But sometimes we do forget that when we watched the original Star Wars, we were young kids. The prequels, if you look at 12-year-olds back during the prequels, they actually, believe it or not, they liked Jar Jar. It was us original fans that didn't. So technically,
I fight with my kids on this all the time because they were that generation and they say they're great. So they're on your side 100%.
But let me add mine, Eric. I haven't done mine yet. You guys ignored me. Now I have a whole.
Hold on, one last thing. Out of all the Star Wars, the new one, The Last Jedi, is the worst Star Wars ever made on this fucking planet. I cannot watch The Last Jedi, Episode 8. I can't watch it. That movie is fucking ridiculous. It's stupid. It's moronic. It destroyed Star Wars. Okay.
How do you really feel? It's hard to get your theory.
Now, here's my theory. God damn it. Now, I'm the guy that does the whales with the fucking cows. So let me get into my thing.
All right, Bobby Bear.
Nerd talk.
Okay, so it's not about Star Wars. Throw that shit out of your head. Fuck the directors. They're all. Who cares about the fucking movie? They all suck anyway, but they all have the same plot. They're trying to take out the moon. The moon is identical to the Death Star. If you look at the moon, it's the fucking Death Star. So why are the rebels trying to blow up the moon? So basically, it's all about blowing up the moon. And who lives in the moon but fucking Darth Vader, the evil people? They're all like the sinister fuckers that live in the moon, like the Nazis. But anyway, Nazis in the moon. But they are like Nazis. They're like Nazi characters, and they're inside of the moon, the Death Star. And they're blowing up planets.
They were based on Nazis. You're right. They were.
So they're basically Nazis inside of a moon. Now, we've got the same fake fucking moon. It ain't my moon. It don't make no fucking sense. That's a Death Star. So that's a Death Star. And so we need to go so these pilots are going up and trying to blow up the moon. That's my theory. So the whole series, who cares about the plot? That's just to throw stupid people off, to make them talk like this. Those of us conspiracy theorists are looking and going, wait a minute. The one thing they have in common is they're trying to blow up the moon, the Death Star. And if you look at the moon, it looks like a Death Star. And so the whole thing, it don't matter from beginning to end, it's just like an emotional awakening. Who's going to fly the fucking plane that blows up the moon? Because they're all just trying to blow up a Death Star. It's the moon. The whole damn trilogy is about blowing up the moon.
It is. And Bob, you're right. And if you look at wartime, how do you win a war? You got to make a bigger bomb. You got to
The
make
moon.
bigger tanks. You got to build a bigger tanks, faster tanks, everything. So you have a Death Star. What do? You're going to make a bigger Death Star that has more powerful. Then you make this moon into a Death Star that's more powerful. And then in the very last Star Wars, you make every ship in the last Star Wars movie as a moon, has a Death Star. So technically, for war, it is taking the original equipment and making it bigger, stronger, and faster. So I can see why they kind of use the Wars a lot because that's war. Listen,
because
we have better tanks than we did in the past. We didn't
in my defecationist philosophy, in antiquity, even in the book, in the Bible, and all the literature, there was no moon ever really written down. There's no moon. Like the moon. How do you guys know the moon was actually a planetesimal that was bashed? How do you guys know the moon is even real? How do you guys even know there was a moon in our past? There was no moon.
You and I had another conversation of another movie before we get. Bob has a special Bible they got in the mail. We're going to talk about his Bible that he got in the second half of the show. But for the last 20 minutes, the movie Signs. Remember the movie Signs?
Yeah.
In the movie Signs, it has crop circles all in the movie, and you saw like alien creatures. But technically, you never saw spaceships. You never saw them. They said they took off where, but you and I are talking. You're talking about maybe there weren't aliens. They're actually interdimensional.
Yeah.
Because you never saw spaceships in that movie. The Signs. Crop circles.
No spaceships.
Maybe one creature, and that's about it in the whole movie. You never saw space. You never saw an attack on Earth. No. So technically, the movie Signs can be an interdimensional kind of a Mandela effect kind of a movie. Think about it.
Yeah, it's saying the same thing. They're interdimensional. Like I said again,
what are interdimensional beings versus being aliens from outer space? So people know we're talking about.
What is the moon? You guys remember there was no moon in the literature in the past. There was actually technically, there was. What are you talking about? Everyone's gonna be all pissed. Oh, you fucking crazy. And then go look at the literature and find me something, with the moon in it. And other than they drew it in a painting.
Read this. This is so true. Was it the moon in the Truman Show, the headquarters place?
Was it really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that movie.
Yeah. Yes. I didn't know that, and I wasn't even. Well, good call, dude.
Yeah,
nice job.
Cool. I didn't remember that.
Symbolism at you. It's symbolism. But yeah, the moon. Was there really a moon in our past, or did we see this thing? Oh, that's not my moon. I'm gonna say right now, I know the surface of the moon. Again, the Museum of Flight, we had a big picture of the moon, and I used to clean every day with a fucking big ass, like a big old feather. Like how the maids have a feather. I had a big old feather duster, and I cleaned the big picture of the moon. And so when I'm sitting there, when I woke up in 2016, that ain't the moon. That ain't the same. There's no craters are wrong. I think MA in England was a whole fucking show on it. That's not the same shit.
And somebody brought up on a show I was watching the other day. It's like when you look at the videos of, NASA on the moon and they got these big mountains and stuff behind them. But then when you look at anything with a telescope or any other, it just looks like, cavities. There's no mountain ranges. Like, where the heck were they shooting? Obviously, we know they weren't on the moon, but
over Mexico City, no spaceships. Yeah.
Yeah. See, all these things. Yeah, it has to do with like interdimensional, and then of course like the Truman Show with the moon, because that ain't no moon I've ever seen before. And so we go back to Star Wars, where these rebels are trying to blow up the fucking moon. Now the American NASA, the paperclip people, the Nazis want to go to the moon. So they're trying to recruit young Nazis, like a young Nazi group, to go up to the moon. Why are they so desperate to go to the Death Star? So everybody wants to go to the Death Star.
Hey, everybody loves when we talk about Mandela effects, and somebody in the chat I just noticed said that we're going to need a bigger boat. And actually, that's now you're going to need a bigger boat, which makes no sense because he's on the same damn boat. Who's he talking about? You're going to need a bigger. No, you're on the boat.
You're on the boat. We're going to need a bigger boat. Yeah, to go to go take out the Death Star, the moon, like in Star Wars.
You're right about.
If I could find that Sharpie that guy was using, I'd change that to Word.
Nazis in the movie Raiders of the Lost Ark, the Nazis wanted the Ark not to talk to God, to make super soldiers, basically. Talk to God to make super soldiers.
Yeah. So the whole to me, when I watched Star Wars, it was Nazis. I'm like, oh, we're fighting Nazis. It's the World War II. They're Nazis. They dun 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 dun.
You
They're fucking walking like Nazis.
style. The hats.
They're marching like Nazis, and they're the papers, please. Okay, okay. You know they are the empire. They are the Nazis.
Falcon is based on the bomber of the bomber 47. Was it?
Oh yes, the B-29. Yes. Yes.
Oh yeah, that's your whole thing, Robert. Yeah.
The Millennium Falcon is the B-29. I worked in the B-29, and then the new B-29. I also worked in both, the old one and the new one. It's the B-29 bomber. So technically, Han Solo is a fucking bomber. He's flying a B-29 bomber trying to take out the moon, the Death Star. So yeah, there you go. Fuck, it's all
and another thing that Robert knows a lot about is these hats. And like accessories, we're noticing glasses, sunglasses are disappearing or appearing. Now you got hats. So like obviously a lot of people know, or hopefully they know by now, but Indiana Jones's hat. You got this one, Eric. I'm pulling up his hat.
the big tall hat. Yeah.
It's really gotten quite larger than we remember.
I have
Eric and I would know 100% because my
brother at his house.
And I know that you guys have those conversations about it, but then also we brought this up on the show the other day.
Oh, that's big. That's fucking
That guy's hat is gigantic now. Now, I still can't see if these have turned silver, but they were gold. But that hat is gigantic. It like two heads could fit in. Does he have another head under there? Does he have a Viet Cong head under there or something he's hiding?
I don't know, but it's killing me because every time you guys bring up a picture, it's gold in the background and does not let you see the silver.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. But that hat is huge. Sorry. I don't remember that.
Big tall hat. Yeah, the big tall hats. Yeah.
And that kind of looks silverish, but again, the coloration, I don't know why it's so yellow.
It's got an orange tint. Every one of them has an orange tint. Every fucking one of them has an orange tint, man. You got to watch the movie. I feel like the guy in the movie, man. Drinking myself.
Now if you look at that one, this looks more yellow than this, but again, it's really kind of tough.
Yeah, debunk me, guys. I like to be debunked, so I'm not gonna take any offense to it. Please debunk that one. Yeah. Debunk it.
But I don't think you can debunk the size of the hat. It's
you can't debunk the size.
Now.
Hey Bob,
Look at that.
make a small announcement real quick.
Yeah.
Now, Bob, if you guys like horror movies, Bob and I tomorrow, not on this channel, on the Instagram channel, we're gonna do a horror show, just a 1 hour horror show. We're gonna talk about a horror movie a week. We're gonna be talking about Evil Dead tomorrow. So if any of you are Evil Dead fans, and we're gonna talk about how the camera work was futuristic and how they use the camera. So if any of you are geeks and nerds and love horror movies,
Instagram.
Go to my Instagram because you have to join to be able to watch it live. You just can't go there.
Oh, I see, boys. That's smart. He's already going. That's nice. We're gonna go only on Instagram. We're promoting our show. This is how we're gonna get our show going on Instagram only.
Tomorrow on
only on Instagram. So you have to subscribe to Instagram. Also, Eric's gonna be doing. He's also doing his webpage. He's paying for webpage. Also included on the webpage, we're going to put down, don't volunteer your shit. Don't put your names down. However, if you were ever planning on it, use a false name. I don't know why you want to even do it. If you were ever talking about doing a hippie camp or whatever, a bug out place, I would call it. Like shit goes bad. We want to meet each other, just the real people. You can put that on Eric's webpage as I'm going to open up this fucking Mandela effect safe zone. Put that in Eric's thing. Eric will include it into his. He'll do a whole safe zone, so a whole section of his private web page, the Gypsy Road web page. Actually, has a different name for it. I want to put a section where there's bug out zones for the Mandela affected people when shit goes south. Just kind of an idea of people say, "Well, I have this 1,000-acre land and I might volunteer for the ME," and then use a fake name and just write some shit in there, or I don't know. It's kind of a safe zone that people can look at, a section.
Yeah, this is my hippie camp. Hang out at this one.
And what Bob's talking about
address that people will show up there like nutballs. You'll get fucking fake ME hippies there.
Yeah,
and
I think Brian's around here somewhere. He usually shows up at people's houses. I think he's around that other van back there.
Find a place where I could go, or like Brian would show up at, or Eric. And people who have the effect would actually be the ones like, "Hey, I just saw your safe zone." Well, not like there's no hacky stacks.
Yeah, like you said on Facebook, I made a Facebook account to go with the channel, but I couldn't use the word gypsy in it. It will not let me use it at all. So the Facebook for the show is called Journey into the Unknown, which is in my pictures everywhere. Yeah. So even if you want to go to Facebook, you can.
I can explain that, Eric. My son told me. Apparently, Gypsy is a derogatory name now.
No.
Because when I said I'm on the Gypsy Roadshow, he gave me a face like, oh. And I was like, what? He goes, well, that's not a nice way of saying that name or whatever. I go, it's literally the name of a song. So that's where he got it from. At least that's what I thought. But
I knew gypsies that called themselves gypsies.
You're not allowed to anymore.
They're like an armor.
I think you're allowed. I don't know what do you call them now. Grifters.
Everything's derogatory.
It's a joke. They're not grifters.
No, you know what, Bob? He's absolutely right.
Of course I am.
That too. I'm like, really? Gypsy Road means finding that journey to find that light at the end of the road. That's what I'm trying to do for myself.
Yeah,
but
gypsy.
Apparently, they're using the word gypsy like it's calling a name calling. It's like that's ridiculous. And you know what? I'm not going to change it because of that.
Well, that's what they keep doing. Like I said, the pillow that I got that's gay, trans, and all that, it says pride. Well, okay, fine. Again, I have no problems with your whatever, do what you want, but to steal the word pride, pride in your work, pride in yourself, pride in your God, pride. Now it's, if you type in pride on a search, the first thing you see is the rainbow and the community. It's like, no, that's not right to change words like that, but that's what they're trying to do. Whoever are rewriting history, pull down statues, change our words, get rid of the ones they don't like. Yeah.
Well, to me, when I see the rainbow, now this is just me again. I have mixed memories, but the rainbow's upside down. So when I see them use the rainbow, I laugh. I go, "That's upside down." Now again, I checkmated the queen, so I'm really off my own fucking weird planet. But I remember the rainbow the other way up. In fact, the only movie that ever confirmed that for me was CSI, when they had the guy chopping people's heads off with the Mandela effect, the bunny monster. He was talking to the bunny monster. But at the beginning of that scene, you're going to see that you can probably look it up in the show CSI. That one particular one, the ice cream van has the rainbow the way I remembered it, almost exactly. So somebody was poking fun at that. I go, that's how I remember the rainbow, and it's technically upside down. I mean, so if you guys see it, it'll be upside down. To me, it's right side up. I know it sounds weird.
Trust me, that's not the weirdest thing any of us have said on this show, so don't worry.
Yeah, I see the rainbow, it's upside down now. So when I see
a lot of people in the channel get way behind this whole rainbow thing before they'll do the other with the defecation theory. So don't worry about the rainbow thing.
We started. I'm only like people to jump on the wagon. It is a me too. Oh, it's the me too. No.
Look at the peace sign. That guy looks like a stormtrooper next to the peace sign.
That is the Mandela effect.
And the peace sign is supposed to be the other way around because it's supposed to be going like this, as above. Now it's going so below.
Yeah, there was no center line. There was no dick. It was only the two legs. It was a line with two. I actually have a picture of a residual. I have a residual picture, but it's the center third line is gone. There's only two. It's like just like the guy. Like you said, like just a Y, an upside down Y. It was just upside down.
It's supposedly one of the best positions you can be spiritually.
Yeah.
If you take your shoes off and you put your feet on the earth, and then you stand up straight, and you put your arms out, and you head up. Talk to God and see what happens. Hopefully you don't get struck by lightning, but it's like it's like an antenna. You just got to tweak it, when you got the bad reception. Nobody here knows because they all have cable. But back in the day, it's like tweak that thing and then all of a sudden they say perfect, but then you're all in this weird position. You can't let go. Yeah.
Because the rabbit ears aren't doing it. So you hold on to the rabbit ears. Hey, keep it right there. You're like, when you let go, the TV comes in. Or it goes away, and you put your hands back on, and it comes in. So you have to stay there for the show, holding the rabbit ears.
Yes, first of all, two questions. First question is this real? Politically correct is a 400 course at a college now.
I believe it. I'll tell you why. First of all, I have a son.
The second question, you can answer that. The second question is real.
400 level?
Who has the
400
power
level course?
to say what is politically correct? Who has that power to say this is the way you should think?
Right.
Well,
one of our kids, or one of our son's friends, he was in college, and they had to do this whatever they call them, diversity class, and he's a white kid, and the whole time they were just bashing the white male. He said he felt he wanted to crawl under his desk. He felt like he wanted to apologize. They made him feel like crap. He of course couldn't say anything in the class because he'd be vilified. And he showed up at our house, and it was just like, we could tell something was up. And he told us this, like they're doing this to us to just mess with our heads and make us.
Remember the kick? I told you guys the story. I got kicked. They kicked me out. Being honest, I was being honest. I got kicked out. They asked my opinion, and I was being honest. Remember, they kicked me out of the class. We talked about Native Americans, and they're like, they're a lot of them drink heavily and all that fun stuff. And they're like, how do you feel about it? I said, I don't know. I don't put the drink in their hand. I go, they're just alcoholics, so that's their problem. Well, it's your problem. I go, how's it? I didn't bring them any whiskey, Eric. I didn't bring them any whiskey, so it's not my fault. I go, that's their decision to be drunk.
Do you want some coffee?
Yeah, someone's that fucking brewed stuff, man.
Fresh,
like
bean
where's
coffee.
Where's mine?
This ain't no joke. Yeah, I've been trying to get up there to get coffee. By the way, this is not a joke. I've been trying to get up there to get coffee. And I kept telling Eric, I'm going to be up there because I have instant coffee and it's driving me nuts. And I didn't get up there to get coffee. So he literally brought me down coffee.
Where's mine? The heck? Right here.
Fred,
what am I, Eric? What am I, chopped liver? That's the Jew in me.
It's fucking fresh fruit. Oh my God, it tastes good.
Here I go. Here you go.
Are you pouring? Oh, you're pouring. Don't pour that out.
Oh, thank you.
I guess he's doing a homie. He gave you a homie.
I see that. I'll just green screen the cup in and
he gave you a homie. He did it, poured it on the deck. This is for homie. He poured it on. So you got it symbolically.
Thank you.
Coffee for symbology. What the hell? But like you said, back to I got kicked out too. So they're going overboard. They're going overboard on all the.
It's a pendulum swinging.
Yeah. Like, too much, man. I'm sorry.
I'm just curious. Who gives the call to say what is correct and what is not? I mean, who's making that call? And that person who makes that call, what party does he belong to? I mean, it matters to me.
I wrote a paper. I'm sad. This is sad for a lot of you guys to hear, but I wrote a paper on how important it is for bullies to be in school. And the teachers I had one teacher who says that's a damn good paper. You actually made a really good point on a psychological scale. I said, thank you. Other teachers were offended and pissed. So I got a good grade because they said, hey, this is actually a good idea. It's put together good. So we're going to give you that. I gave me a good grade. The idea was that bullies are important in school because it gives nerds a sense of anger to fight back. If you're not picked on, you're not going to fight back. If you're not being jealous just a little bit, you're not going to fight a little bit harder for that girl. So bullies are significant. And I wrote it in the paper. Bullies are significant in an adolescent's life. They gotta pick. If they're calling you pimple face, you might want to wash your face and talk to your parents about getting some kind of steroid. If they're not making fun of you a little bit about combing your hair and coming out of your bed, your hair sticking up in the back, and you're sitting stinking in fucking class, you smell like ass and bad hair. And so someone says, "Hey, you need to take a shower. You fucking stink." You might want to take a shower and then comb your hair. It'll change your life. So bullies will change your life a little bit. It's sad to say that. Now, I was an anti-bully. When they went too far, I went after the bullies for the nerds. I like the nerds better than the bullies, but bullies were necessary. So when the nerds used to come to me and say, this bully did this, this, and this, I said, well, you deserved it. But he called me this and that. He called me gay. I said, well, are you gay? You are gay, right? Well, yeah. Then why is him calling you gay making you upset? Because everybody knows now. I said, well, then maybe you might find a boyfriend. I don't know how to tell you this, but maybe he did you a favor. He brought you out of the closet. Now feel good about it.
This guy that I listened to, James True, he talks about it like we're in the dojo ring. And so everything that's happened to everyone here in this chat and on the screen, whatever, we've all had troubles in our lives. Nobody's had a perfect life, but none of us are dead. None of us are so destitute that we don't have food in our bellies, a place to live, and money to buy internet because we're all sitting here. So we've had troubles, and maybe some of us are still having them, but all of it, as that stupid saying is, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, but it truly is. It's this dojo. It's like if you get hit in the face, then the next time you're in the ring, you're going to duck that punch. Hopefully you've learned. Yeah. And then you get hit with this one, and you learn from that one until the next thing you know, you're some like whatever, I don't know, kung fu master. I kind of switched over realms, but whatever. You know, you get better until we're better at this. And none of us know how any of this works. I'm fairly new to the Bible, like a year or two now. There's people who have studied their whole lives, but guess what? It's still all open to interpretation. Big words always trip me up because at the end of the day, like there's different ways of looking at passages. Two people are reading the Bible and seeing completely different things. It's like
synchronicity.
Yeah.
Synchronicity, by the way. Wait till you hear that. Synchronicity.
No, we're at the 12 o'clock mark, and we're going to talk about this new kind of Bible that Bob received in the mail.
Total synchronicity. You have no idea right now. You have no idea how that.
No, I got the show notes this morning, right?
You got no idea.
Now, Bob, what is this book? Where's it from? And why should we care?
Wait, what?
So,
okay.
You're talking about this book. So I'm going to use the words because I Jewed this book down. Now, straight up, now Richard will laugh. I got it off eBay. I was looking for the oldest Bible I could find for science. We're doing science with the Mandela effect. Oldest book I can get, a King James version, the lowest I can get. So just some picker found it in some barn somewhere or whatever. So it's so old. I can't even find a stamp date. But however, there's owner dates that go back to 20 something. But it's just like the first owner. Then as it goes down, these were all owned by pastors, by the way. There's a lot of shit written in here, and this has been affected. I'm not from this timeline. I'm from Sagittarius Arm, and so this is from Orion Spur. And so the Orion ministers are the ones writing in the book, so I get to see all their thoughts. Anthropology, right? We all go to school. Anthropology is this thick in this motherfucker. So anyway, I Jewed it down. I got it for cheap. We haggled back and forth online. It's a Bible, for God's sake. I haggled down a used Bible. So who cares? Got it good and cheap. So anyway, passages are in this thing are amazing. And as I'm looking through a lot of the stuff, I don't recognize some of the names. I don't, straight up. Now, I remember checkmating the Queen, so my memory is different than a lot of people's memories. So call it false, call whatever, I'll debunk it. A lot of names I don't recognize in this book. It has changed that much. We already know it. We don't need to prove it. We already know it's changed. So the Lion and the Lamb is not in here. It's the wolf, the whole spill. And going through this book, I figured out why it's changed. I know why now. I actually went to bed, and I went to bed happy, and I know why it changed. I know why it changed. I have a theory, I have an hypothesis why it changed. So here we go. And so to get help in this one, Richard, you have your Bible with you.
I have a few. Which one do you want? King James?
Give the King James version. I don't care. This is more Torah, so we don't have a Torah, so we'll use this anyway. So it's
I have a Torah. You want a Torah too?
Oh, do Torah. Yes.
Of course I do. Have you not watched this show? I have everything.
I don't have a Torah. You need a Torah. Well, this is Old Testament, so I'd rather have a Torah. What I found in this one is the King James version, so you can follow along with that one. But it's cool if we have the Torah, so we can debunk. We can debunk a little bit at the same time. Because names have changed, but not everyone. The Torah might say it differently. Obviously, says it way differently than the Old Testament. Waiting for a Torah.
No.
Oh. No problem. Let me start with.
Really? No.
This is a weird thing I found out.
I can't see crap with these on, so I'm gonna have to.
Okay.
I know it ruins the effect of the show, but whatever.
Yeah.
Right, there you go. I got a Torah.
Are there?
Okay. Can you go to Matthew? So if you go to Matthew chapter 1.
Matthew chapter 1.
Yeah, chapter 1. you're going to see something. What do you see? You're seeing a genealogy. Wait, maybe Matthew's not in your Torah.
I'm just looking. I don't think Matthew. I think comes later.
He's not in the Torah. Never mind. Get your King James
way to
version.
go. Screw up the show again, Eric. Jeez. Robert.
Freaking momentum. Now the
It
momentum
goes forward. It goes forward and goes back. It goes forward and goes. It bounces between the both.
Replace you with Rose. Rose and Silly Family was perfect. So you just screwed that up, Bob. Rose
It bounces between the new Torah. It bounces between the new Torah and the old Torah. So this is in the new Torah.
All right. Well, here I got a big King James if you want that.
Yeah. Go to Matthew chapter 1.
Guide. Matthew
chapter 1.
Matthew chapter 1.
Now remember, the God Matrix is going to try to stop us from having any biblical conversations. So things are going to happen.
Yeah, because literally, I think Matthew was the first book. So
yeah.
So
Matthew chapter 1, you're going to see what it is. It's Jesus' genealogy.
Yeah, the genealogy, right? Okay.
Going down that genealogy, you're going to see multiple names. I think there's 14 generations. I don't remember 14 generations, but there's 14 generations now. And to me, that's new.
I don't know if I can help you with, because be perfectly honest with you, like most people, when I started reading this, you kind of haze through it. You know, It is important, but we never.
Yeah, don't sweat. That's not even. In fact, if you guys don't know you're not going to know this book unless you went to some fucking school for it. And my grandpa did, and so I was curious about it. So I learned a lot and plus mythology, college. So if you don't feel bad if you don't know what's in this book. I don't know all the Mandela effects in the book. You're not going to unless you went to a fucking university for this book. You're not going to. But what's relevant is in Matthew, the first chapter, all the way down, you're going to see generations of people that go down to Jesus.
Right.
It's
this one begot that one. This one begot that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So the line of David, you go down to the line of David. And so when Yeshua was, according to what I read and figured out, when Yeshua in a spoof kind of a way, in a gumshoe kind of a way, as a investigator, anthropology, Jesus, what I found out in this book is that he already knew that he was going to die as a teenager. God didn't tell him anything about dying.
So
he knew he's going to die as a teenager because Jesus or Yeshua was a fucking rabbi. He was a teenage rabbi and he was brilliant. He was like one of them brilliant kids. So he already knew it based off the Torah that he was already going to die. There was no magical moment. He went out and did his crazy shit anyway. That's why he was never going to be king. Now he talked to his dad, Joseph, about it. Joseph's like, yeah, you could try to be king, but you ain't going to be no king because it ain't going to happen. So through his whole adolescence going up, he knew he was going to be failing. He's going to go as far as he can, but he knew at the end, regardless of what happens, somebody hit on his white square is going to go to the black square and sell his shit out because he ain't going to be no king. Mm-hmm. Jesus already knew that based off what I read here. And everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about? God told him he's going to be a king. Everyone, that wise men showed up. The dude was raised to be, everybody knows he's in his fucking head. He's going to, no. According to the Torah, he knew he wasn't going to be no king. So he knew he's going to be betrayed at the end on his own with 13 silver coins. Now it's 30, but it used to be 13 silver coins. Nobody.
Question. I don't know if this is a nerdy religion question or not, because I'm not really a religious kind of a person in the first place. Why? Okay, I'm not saying it's not real and it's real, God or Jesus. I'm not saying that. But if God's powerful like this, why even have Jesus do his words? Why not him himself basically appear in a form?
Can I do it?
Can I run this one by you? Can I do this one? I actually know the answer to this. I know the answer to this. Here, maybe I have to put on. Oh, I can't even find my. Oh, here it is. So here's the answer.
I'm learning this.
Religious. Okay. Ready? Okay. So he did it. He did that in the first book. It was just God, and he walked the children of Israel out of slavery multiple times. And then they forgot him every time. And it was the thing that used to tick me off. It's like I used to say to my wife, why do they keep doing this? If God was here right now, I'd make sure I wouldn't forget him. Well, guess what? We have done it throughout history. So he's like, forget it. I'll send down my son. I'll have him walk around on earth and talk about these things. And what do we do there? Some of us listened. Most of us didn't. He checked out. So
Checked out.
he has done it both ways. It's up to us
Yeah,
to
it's up to
find him
us.
and figure this out. So you're right, Eric. Yeah.
That makes sense. Like I said, I haven't
Yeah.
read the Bible, so I didn't know that he came down once.
Now, here we go. Now we're going to move this forward. And this is where it gets weird. This is where it gets fun. This is where it gets
1 second. Let me explain what he didn't like. He came down. He was always around, and he would talk to Moses and Noah. It was just him talking through a bush or whatever. However he did it, I don't know. But it was just him, and he'd be the one guiding them through. So he was here talking. Then he just decided, well, that's not working. They're not believing in what's happening.
He manifested the answers to you. He gave you answers through manifestation.
Are we ever going to know if he brings somebody else down, like a new daughter or child on this planet? How can we believe a person?
Let me finish.
You have the answer?
No, I told you we're going to be taken off the path. Everything God is like, dude, you're going to be taken off the path every fucking time. I noticed that. Now let's go back to the book. Richard, go to
We're being
Jeremiah.
scolded by Bobby Brer. When did this turn upside down? Go ahead.
Go to they'll check this out. This is where the twist comes. This is where the twist comes. This is where Jesus fucking figured it out from the Torah. Maybe the Torah. Look up Jeremiah 22:30. Jeremiah 22:30.
Everyone else hear that song when you say Jeremiah was a bullfrog? Whenever I hear that, I hear that.
My son's name is Jeremiah. I don't know why.
Really?
My son, his name is Jeremiah. Oddly enough, that's fucking weird. Synchronicity.
Jeremiah.
Yeah, we're gonna be stopped.
I'm looking. All right. I'm not that. How far? It's towards the back, isn't it? Jeremiah, Ezekiel.
I think it's in the middle back.
Malik.
So those of you in the sidebar, you guys can do the same thing. Debunk this, man. So grab your fucking King James version, open it up if you have it. Look in your Torahs, whatever you guys have it in front of you. Look at you. Do your own research. I'm doing it. I'm giving you guys. I'll say it again. Jeremiah.
What?
22:30.
22:30.
Yes.
Does everything always got to have a number in the Bible?
Well, it helps you find stuff.
It's like the Dewey Decimal System of the literature, religious book.
And we're so old we know what that is. Most people don't. All right, I'm at Jeremiah 22. What?
30.
30.
And I want you to read that.
Jesus never sat on a couch. That's what he said.
No, he never said that couch.
Now he does.
All right. Thus saith the Lord, write ye this man childless, a man that shall not prosper in his days, for no man of his seed shall prosper, sitting upon the throne of David and ruling anymore in Judah.
Okay, now who's in the line of David?
I didn't know there'd be a quiz. I would have studied what's going on.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus is in the line of David. Through Joseph, he can't take the throne, baby. You understand that?
Yeah.
He can't be king.
I can be king.
God cursed that king. He cursed him. Jeremiah says, Jeremiah come down and says, I got bad news for you, dude. I just talked to God, and you've been cursed. And all your children lineage going down the line is cursed also. No one will be on the throne. No one will rule. No one will rule. And guess who's in the line of Judah? Or who's in the line of David? Jesus. And through Joseph. Now, here comes the argument. People are saying that, well, wait a minute now. It's right there. God cursed that line. The line of David, there's no king in the line of David. And Jesus is directly in the line of David. Now, the argument goes, well, Jesus is he's God's son. So he's not in Joseph's line. So technically he's an exemption because he's half God and half human. There's one side of the church. Now the Catholic Church had a huge battle when they were putting the canons together. Was he a product of a man or was he a product of a God? Because it depends, because this curse is important to know about from Jeremiah. Because if Jesus is actual son of fucking Joseph, he can't be king. It's and void. He's been cursed by God. The whole line is cursed. It's right there.
I mean, that makes sense because when they offered him the kingdoms of the world, he turned it down. Yeah, because he's not supposed to be king.
Back home, now I'm speaking Sagittarius arm only. So if those of you from Orion Spur, you're going to be confused because it's different now. This is where the whole Bible's changed makes sense. Because now in the new Mandela effect version of this fucking book, if you guys go to if you go back to Matthew chapter 1 and go through all them fucking names, you're going to go through all them fucking names. You're going to see weird names, new people, plurals that don't make sense. So basically, somehow, somewhere, God had changed his curse, removed it from this fucking book, and now Jesus can be king because he's not from that line anymore. He's not from that line anymore. He's from a different line. I know it sounds weird, and you got to be able to, you got to go back and read it for yourself to find out that had God not changed this book. He put S's instead of brothers. This is your brother. And one of the second, he puts brothers. It makes no sense. There's two brothers. There's two brother, and then he said a brother and brothers, which would mean more than one other brother, which is completely contradicting to a lot of things. It basically foobarred the book. So now Jesus can be a king because it's changed.
I have to ask you guys. I have to ask you guys.
Yeah, I know it sounds weird.
Do they back a person to be king?
Wait, what?
Does God and Jesus want somebody to be in line to be a king? Or
here's the thing: throughout history, when God saved, again, I'm just going by what I've read. When he saved his people from slavery, and they were like, "Okay, now we need a king," and he's like, "You don't need a king. You have me." And they're like, "No, they have a king. We want a king too." And so God's like, "Oh, children of Israel, how long do I suffer you?" I think Jesus even said that about him. So it's like, fine, here's your king. Well, guess what? Some of the kings were good. Some of the kings were really lousy. Some of the kings were good and then decided they liked someone else's wife, and they sent the guy off to war, had him die, and then stole and raped his wife. I mean, kings were not a good thing. And to this day,
that's my point.
That Jesus didn't want to be king, or God didn't want him to be, that makes sense.
I hate to say this to the British UK. You know, they try to conquer the world based on God and saying, you know, we rule underneath God. I would think God and Jesus should destroy all the kings because nobody should have that much power over everybody.
Well, there wasn't going to be one anyway because the line of David was cursed. In this book, look it up yourself. Do your own research. I just named the fucking thing, and Richard just read it.
I read it. Yeah.
The line is cursed. The line of David, there is no. So when Jesus was a rabbi, he saw that and he goes, wait a minute. He probably went to Joseph, his dad, and says, aren't we in the line of David, Pop? And he's like, yeah, that's why you're not king, right, Dad? He goes, no, we're not king. We can't be king. God cursed the whole fucking David line. Mm-hmm. So Jesus grew up going, well, what? So what am I? You know, what am I? Chopped liver? So he went out and did his shit anyway.
I don't know what
was it going to make it his kid?
But I would think they should, to help the world get better, they should have destroyed people who are kings and stuff like that. I mean, really.
Well, here's the thing that's fascinating. I talked about it in the show this morning. How many people in the world, or the earth, I always get confused with that. How many people in the earth have been killed in the name of God? Like, that's totally the opposite teachings. First commandment, one of the first, one of the 10, whatever number it was. No, the first is about God. Maybe the fifth, thou shalt not kill. So if God tells you as a commandment, don't kill, why are you killing in his name? See, it's the upside down world. We're not killing. God's not killing these people. We're switching the words around to make it fit whatever the kings want. Yeah.
Well, someone put it on the sidebar. Eric, put it back up there. That was a good comment about the Mandela effect part. Yeah. Bring this up because this is a discussion you guys need to have in a sidebar. How do you know that Jeremiah 22:30 hasn't been Mandela affected? I think it has. Well, the thing is, it has been changed, and also the lineage has been changed. So when you go to Matthew, you guys have to know your Matthew. Also, you have to look at the lineage. Has also been it's been foobarred all the shit. So technically, according to the new book, Jesus can be king. You understand? There's a difference now. He can be now that it's been changed. He can be now.
Yeah.
Now he
well,
can.
Again, it's that thing where the book is changing and the meanings are being morphed to almost the opposites on some things. And so the fact that it's now allowed, it's just, again, it's becoming nonsense because of that. That's why you need to, if you haven't read through it, read it, get it in your head and your heart before it changes too much. Because God literally says there'll be a day where there'll be a famine, and it won't be of food, and it won't be of water. It'll be of the word of God. Because if you don't know what he's saying and you don't know what's happening or what's to come, you're going to be lost out here. And that's why he says that. So that's what's happening to this book, and doesn't shock me at all. What you're saying, Robert, is just it sounds like what I'm seeing on everything else. They're changing it to fit what they want.
Yeah, it has changed. And also I was reading there's talking about I've been marking the shit out of it. There's talk about the corn husks. This is the Middle East, guys. There's talking about corn going to the cornfields in the Middle East, guys. There was no corn in the Middle East. It all came from the Americas. It came from the Americas. So your King James Version Bible has corn growing in the Middle East during those days. So remember, a lot of things have been Americanized into this book. Couch. We joked about a couch earlier.
Well, so that's my point on that is I feel like because I just got the Bible in me the last few years, I'm not someone that's read it for decades. So the fact that I read it just recently and this guy was sick and he had a mat and he healed him and he said, pick up your mat. Then when someone talked about it on a channel that had been Mandela the couch, which again doesn't even exist in their timeline, at least maybe it didn't then, maybe it does now. I don't know. There's now, you could put record players in your car in the 50s now. You should look that one up. It's fast.
Yeah, oh God, I see that.
But now the fact when I read it and it says literally couch, which I guess I don't even understand how they lower a couch through the ceiling.
Yeah.
I pick up a couch, but regardless, that I know that is changed. There's no doubt in my mind that has changed. I can't misremember that. I just freaking read it and it doesn't make sense. Just like wine bottles instead of wine skins.
It's in here too. I double checked it. It's in here too. All I'm trying to say to people is that God seemed to he removed the curse. Maybe he removed the curse from the line of David. Only God can remove a curse. If he put a curse on a line of David, there would be no kings. And maybe he removed the curse by changing. That's why he changed the book. He took his curse away. So maybe what we have a result is a book that has the curse removed from it. And so he had to mix a lot of things up and really make it obvious that it's been the couches, the mufflers, you name it's in here. I mean, the grinding, it's completely, God has changed this in front of our eyes, those with the effect, and we see the changes. So he's telling you he removed the curse from the line of David, number one. And then number two is he made it so obvious that those people who know a little bit about this book will know enough to go, this has changed. All you need to know is there was a lion that lay with a lamb. I remember our granny gave us little baby Bibles for kids. It had a big lion on it, big lion with a lamb. That was clear as memories I have. So, yeah, it's been changed for you. I think he removed the curse from the line of David, and he screwed this up.
I want to know how much you paid for that book.
Oh, I ain't saying. No,
Hey,
it's cheap.
I tell you what, I have this guy's email. We'll email it to him.
Hey, Eric,
Yeah.
look at this. Have you guys seen this?
Here. Yeah, I've seen that picture before.
What is it? Oh,
record
God.
players in the cars in the 50s. Of course, everyone had those. Don't you guys remember bringing your 45s and sticking them in your car?
No. Oh, that's so badass, though.
I'm sure if you hit like anything, it's going to skip. Remember how records used to skip if you breathed on it? I mean, come on.
It would have to have a heavy dial. It would have to be heavy and a spring, kind of a floating spring action. Oh, that would be so cool. I remember 8-tracks.
Is that no, maybe I'm not wrong, but it looks
we had 8-tracks so that we were kids growing up.
Yeah, 8-tracks. I remember that my dad had 8-tracks, and I had them in my first car, but not records.
Oh, shit. I had them into the millennium. I had an 8-track player in my garage back home. When I sold, I had an 8-track player I used to play music on in the garage while I was working on my bike. 8-track, old 8-track. I still love it.
Wait, they're saying that this Rolls Royce even had one. Come on.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Hey, you also had a question about Raggedy Ann. What are we looking at here? We never.
No, she's been Mandela affected.
What happened to her?
I'm trying to think. You got to put on one of them. I know she had changes to her.
I can try to get it.
The deep blue. She used to be deep blue. Oh no. She was blue, man. She was blue. It was like a not paisley, but it was a blue pattern, heavy blue pattern, and a smaller bib. And she didn't have them two little bows on her head either. She didn't have them two bows on her head. She was like fucking ears, like a bear's ears.
No, I didn't have either one, so I can't help you there. I had a Bernstein bear.
No, I got my daughter Raggedy Ann when she was a little girl, and she hated it. She hated it. Like it was expensive because it comes with like a birth certificate. A freaking stuffed animal with a birth certificate is expensive. And so I gave her Raggedy Ann with the birth certificate. She hated it. I made her one out of a fucking sock, and she loved it.
I never gave my daughter a Raggedy Ann doll, but I did give her the Raggedy Ann Annabelle doll.
Yeah,
of course you did.
Put it back up. Hey, put it back up again. Let's let the sidebar. See if anybody remembers the sidebar. Remembers the two hoops. Put it back up.
Oh, yes, sir. Hang on, I'm getting there. I gotta turn this all back on.
Me and my daughter's been watching horror movies since we're kids, since she was a kid.
Yeah, back to the Raggedy Ann doll. Hey, we started off with that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, we did.
This thing will not update. Here we go. So hold on. I want everyone to remember those two hoops in her fucking hair and her dress.
Well, see, there's also like the tiny ones that don't have it, but the original ones, this is supposed to be them, I guess.
Yeah, there were no hoops.
Here, how about original?
Yeah.
Okay, well, wait there. I doubt they could sell this anymore. But yeah, she doesn't have hoops here.
Okay. Is that a residge?
Knickerbocker original Raggedy Ann. Okay, let's see what this says.
Whoa, let's see what that looks like.
Here, these are the originals, supposedly.
Wait. Now that dress is wrong. Dress is way wrong. Way wrong. It was it looked like something a Quakers would wear, like that blue checkered pattern, plain Jane. And that's like some kind of weird symbols all over it. What the hell's on? What are all those little symbols?
Is this more the androgyny thing? How come Raggedy Andy has bigger boobs than Raggedy Ann?
Yeah, they look androgynous. They have been officially Tom
Cruise.
Somebody channels asking a little bit ago, like beginning of the show, what's the Raggedy Ann have to do in the beginning of the show? Well, just for that person knows, I had a Mandela effect for a movie called The Frighteners, and there's a scene in there that has never happened before where the woman got attacked by a Raggedy Ann doll. So this is just for the people who haven't seen this. Now watch this woman get attacked.
Oh, let's see if she's a residge. Well, that's more of the pattern, but that one looks red.
Yeah, well, there's different versions of Raggedy Ann with different clothes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I remember looking at all the Raggedy Anns, and there was just the what they call the original, the plain Jane one. It was deep blue or bluer pattern with a smaller kind of a fluffy see-through. It sounds fucking dirty, but anyway, bib. But you see the shirt, people. See the shirt.
I think I need to get rid of the Bible behind me as you go ahead.
Yeah, it sounds bad, but it was a thin white, and it had stitching, red stitching. Raggedy Ann had red stitching in it. It's that way. That was her identifier, like with actual red stitching, because it was expensive.
I love it. Suzanne, I remember this movie with Michael J. Fox, but I don't.
We got another one. Cool.
I love it. See?
Yeah.
So we have a debate on the scene and Raggedy Ann being a Mandela effect right now that I remember.
Yeah, I guess we should check into the Cabbage Patch now, because that was like the Raggedy Ann of the next generation, right? Where they came out, they had adoption certificates, and they came out of Flance or whatever.
I wonder if they got cleft chips.
No.
Wait, what happened? Why is he saying no? What I do?
I bet you that Cabbage Patch Kids have a freaking. They all have like a line in their chin. I bet you.
We can look. Why did I? I'm wondering why I said I'm always hyper focused on myself.
everybody
Why
has
do you
a
say
cleft
no?
now.
Did I do something wrong?
The new skulls have a cleft now, so I bet you those dolls will have a cleft chin. I wonder.
All right, let's see.
It changed.
Sock monkey rule. Sock monkey for president.
How come I remember them as Cabbage Patch doll? Well, okay, whatever. I didn't have them. Cabbage Patch Kids.
Cabbage Pale Kids.
Cabbage
Yeah.
Patch Kids.
Where's Dead GPK? He'll be an expert in there. Dead GP. He calls himself. Was it Dead Cabbage or whatever? Garage Kids, whatever. Dead GP. Yeah.
Oh, this person asked, did it used to be something else attacking her, or is the scene all new? The whole scene's new. She was never.
Yeah, over there.
We just don't remember a creepy doll attacking her that looked like Raggedy Ann.
Yeah. Raggedy Ann doll's only been in 3 actual movies, and they're all the Annabelle movies. It even says it has not been any other movie. So if that's not a residue, I'm sorry. I don't know what is.
Eric's a horror movie expert. He's seen them all.
All right, these original Cabbage
Kids. Garbage Pail Kids. Here we go. Let's see the face.
They have dimples.
They have dimples. Anything on the chin? Is there any dimples on the chin?
I don't think they have a chin. They don't really have one.
Oh.
So nothing there yet, but we'll come. Well, we'll check in periodically. And
those should come with like a birth certificate, right? Where you
yeah. They made them super expensive. Yeah.
God, they were ridiculous, man.
I think that's kind of like trading, really, a future trading to people like, look, even your dolls got papers. Bob Nazis, papers, getting kids programmed with papers.
That could be.
I stitched my daughter a sock monkey. I made her a sock monkey, like an actual sock monkey stitch. In fact, I think I stole the clothes from the Raggedy Ann doll and put it on. I'm not sure. But anyway, I put clothes on it. It looked like a Raggedy Ann doll, but it was a sock monkey with the red right here. Everything was cool.
All right, we got one. Troll dolls.
It didn't have papers, though. It didn't have no papers.
I like when it helped out with the show.
My sock monkey for my daughter that I made had no papers.
Cabbage Patch.
Please.
You know what else was a craze? Was it those stuffed animals? What are they called? They used to be a craze. Everybody had to buy them. You guys know what I'm talking about? Those. There's like McDonald's had those stuff.
The Happy Meals.
Oh,
you mean Furby? You talking about Furby? I had a Furby.
I know a Furby, but he's talking about the little animals, the stuffed animal, like the little sand in their feet.
Yeah.
And they stay on one spot. Yeah, they have sand in the pot in their ass. They have sand in their ass.
Well, here, I got your troll doll. I'm not sure what changed.
Come on, somebody. Oh, Beanie Babies. There it is. Beanie Babies.
Oh, I have. Yeah, I can get you those. Here's your troll dolls. I don't see what's. Tell me what we're missing here. I'm not familiar with them enough.
They're naked.
Oh, God.
Does somebody in the chat say what's wrong with them to them? Because I don't know. I don't know the trolls enough. I mean, I see them in the chat. Ha, ha, ha.
Beanie Babies. Yeah, Beanie Babies. Yeah, is there anything? Anybody says something different about the doll? I'm not. Oh, God.
I love it.
Oh, look at that. That's not real hair, though. It's just like that. It's real because he don't have real hair either.
Hey, it's real because you saw it on televised vision. It's got to be real.
It's his hair hat. He's flare hair hat.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Here,
of course I do.
He's got to have a doll hidden somewhere. I'm just gonna bring out. So I'm still calling Mandela effect on the.
Babies, I have 3 pins in the garbage in the garage.
The Beanie Baby.
They made so much of them, they destroyed the value of those Beanie Babies. They even did that with comics. That's what kind of hurt the comic book stores when they start coming out with limited editions. And they came out with so much of the limited editions, it kind of killed.
Yeah, you can't see it. That's funny. It's a green screen. They're all different. They were animals and stuff. Beanie Babies.
Beanie Baby.
Yeah. You know what's funny? There are people that have bought these, and they there's a whole video supposedly where they like spent thousands and thousands of dollars thinking they're gonna go up one day and be real valuable. But what I found because being Jewish, I was able to make money off of these things.
Are you hungry, Bob?
And I made a connection with someone that ran a Hallmark store. And whenever they would get a delivery, they'd hold some aside for me, like say 10 of them. and I could buy them at the regular price because people were literally waiting in lines for days. I had a friend who was a UPS driver. He said they would crowd around his truck, and sometimes he was in there having lunch, and they'd like almost shake it and stuff, you know. And so he'd sell me some Beanie Babies, and then I would go and I'd have garage sales. And along with the garage sale, it was I remember the Princess Diana doll that came out. Purple, right? And I had like I don't know 8 of them, and I just put $50 on it just to see. I sold them all out in like an hour.
Wow. Bob, put up your spam account again. Put that up.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I know the M.
People in the chat are listening. There was a movie that said when a man was basically having sex with a woman, what comes out of the man was spam. What movie said that? Come on. If Richard don't know this, he's not a real Washington person.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not a real Washington person.
Horror movie? Is it
No, it's not a horror movie, Bob. It's technically it's a God, I don't want to give it away.
I don't know.
It got a doctor explaining to a kid, and then the kid was explaining to his friends about.
I know it's ringing a bell, but I can't remember the name of the movie.
What comes out of the man was spam. Nobody knows. Okay, movie is based. Okay. Here's a hint. Movie is based Seattle.
Based in Seattle.
Movie was about Seattle.
Do you know this movie? I don't know it.
Oh, does anybody not know? No, Spam? Singles. The movie Singles.
Seagulls?
I don't remember that scene, though.
I didn't know that movie.
Singles.
No.
Are you saying Seagulls is a movie?
Seagulls.
Yes, it's during the grunge area. It's about the grunge era of Seattle where
great movie. Yeah. I love the movie. I love Singles. Yeah, I just
Singles. Sorry, I misunderstood you. I do know Singles. Yeah.
I'm thinking it's the spam scene. I remember the bees. I remember they're all watching bees in the house. Pearl Jam. I remember they're all watching the bees in the colonies.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can find that clip. You guys talk. I'm gonna find that clip.
You guys remember Pearl Jam? They're all in that. They're all inside. You know, they're all sitting inside the couch. All of them high, just watching a documentary on bees.
And I've also told this story on air before, but my wife hung out with when he was in high school, and he was in love with her, and we'd used to write her poetry. Was what's his name, Andy Wood, and he died from an overdose supposedly, and then his band became Pearl Jam. So
no way.
Yeah.
So Eddie Vedder took his spot.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Eddie Vedder. Yeah. Oh God, yeah. God, I'm going
she
back.
actually saw Nirvana when they were nothing. He took her to like some club, her and her girlfriend, to show and see, hey,
grunge.
This new, yeah.
The whole grunge thing, yeah, hell yeah. Eric, what are you looking for? What scene are you looking? Are you looking for the bees?
I'm looking for the spam scene.
Oh, the spam. It might not exist anymore.
The spam scene of Singles. I love it.
Look for the bee scene. I like it. I like the bees better. Everyone's like locked into the TV screen, watching the bees. While the lead head singer's outside talking to Eddie Vedder. That was a classic, man. I love that movie. I like Pearl Jam.
I'm hanging out with them now from Singles.
Yeah. Oh shit. I love Pearl Jam. I don't know why they don't come back. Well, I guess he's still on tour, but.
Well, nobody's on tour anymore. It's all online. I keep getting things all the time. Hey, your favorite band is going to do a live stream today. I was like, oh, okay. So what?
Oh, yeah, that's right, huh? Yeah, they're at the movie theater. They're at the drive-in.
Somebody did a concert for drive-ins, and it sold out nationwide.
Wow.
I like the idea.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea that people are separate, but I like the idea that everybody was in a drive-in together.
Right.
Everybody, I bet you they're all playing freaking frisbee. They're throwing you talk about a revolution. That's badass, man. So everyone's watching a concert in an outdoor movie theater. So all the cars, like the old days, were all parked together. I think that's fucking brilliant. They should do like a live comedy routine and do it all live from drive-in movie theaters.
We should take this on the road. We should go on the Gypsy Road.
Because I like the idea of like everyone in their cars. I used to love the drive-in. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I love the drive-in, man. We used to live down the road from a drive-in not too long ago.
Yeah, that was really funny too, because the city or the area that I moved to, they had a drive-in theater apparently like decades ago before I got here, and at night they would run pornos, I guess, and then they finally had to stop because you could actually see it as you drive by on the highway. Like no one thought, oh, that might be wrong.
Babe, when I get you home, I've been watching the corner. I'm feeling frisky, baby. When we get home, we got to do something because I've been watching a movie from the side of the freeway all the way through. Yeah, there's some things that the kids are like, Mom, turn your eyes. God damn it, you can see the screen from the side. Yeah, no, you can't be playing porno from freaking drive-ins. My dad used to take us to drive-ins all the time.
That's funny.
Porky's.
Someone knows it, and it was called the Big Bear Drive-In. So there's your
Big Bear. There we go.
Do you remember
the bears in here?
Bob, do you remember this? We went to the drive-in, and I remember we had to go see that movie 2001: Space Odyssey. Now, when you're a kid, I'm sorry, when you're a little kid, that's the most boringest fucking movie ever.
Yeah,
when you're a kid.
slept through the movie.
But on the other screen, shit you not, they were playing Porky's. And there's a scene with the guy sticking his penis in the hole with the girls, like on the big screen at a drive-in. They don't do that no more. Rated
Dude,
R.
Dad took us
more interesting than this movie.
Did you go with us? We went to Dad took us to Porky's, the drive-in. Did you? You remember going to Porky's?
No, you're wrong.
Split memory.
He took off the guy named Sea Dog because Sea Dog did 2001: Space Odyssey. He says it's the greatest movie ever. And we went and saw it. And the movie was fucking boring. And right next screen was Porky's. So everybody went over to Porky's because this movie was 2001 was just not as a kid.
Well, and
okay, guys, now we're having
the 2001.
We're having a split memory.
So obviously, when it came out, I mean, we were barely born or not even around, but they did it came back in the theaters because I saw it probably the year you're talking about. I was a kid, and I'll never forget this because we were sitting in the theater. And the movie starts out, and everyone in the theater was in agreement with this. The movie starts out, and it's 2001: A Space Odyssey. And it starts out, and it's like Primitive Man, or whatever they are, fake man. And Monkey Man, and they're banging bones. It goes on for like 20 minutes, it seems like. At least people in the theater started yelling. I'm not kidding. You're playing the wrong movie. They kept yelling it like a bunch of idiots put on the wrong. And somebody actually went up into the thing to talk to him. And, of course, then it goes to space. But yeah, that was my experience with 2001.
Eric and I have a split memory. That's why I'm going, we got one of our splitters. Now, Eric and I have different memories on things. We have the same memory on tons of shit. Sometimes we split because I remember Dad taking you, me, and Mike to fucking watch Porky's. Not 2001. Shit, so I got a split memory from Eric. Maybe Eric wasn't supposed to see it at the time in this this timeline. But in my timeline, he was there. But he was a kid. He fucking didn't know anything better. But
yeah, they probably couldn't make those movies.
Probably a little kid. We watched Porky's though. Me and Dad were sitting there talking about Porky's. We were laughing at the movie screen. It's kind of weird.
Couldn't even make that movie nowadays.
They can't make it now. Yeah, the movie's one of the greatest movies of my life. One of my first experiences with my dad, like watching fucking a laughing movie at the drive-in theater, was Porky's, and we fucking loved that movie.
That's funny.
It was like the best movie ever. And we was like, you watch it with your dad, and he laughed, like fucking tears laughing, and you're a little kid laughing with tears coming off because it's hilarious. That's a good movie. But now it's like they probably lock it up.
And Zulu, I think it's just because they would keep replaying that. Back in those days, they would just they'd put it back in the theater, even though it's been gone. Because like if it came out, I think originally in '68, or
you landing. Sorry, Eric's frozen. Go ahead. Sorry, Eric's frozen.
Well, that movie came out in '68, '69, whatever, and I was barely even around. So, no, I didn't see it then. I saw it probably about 10 years later, so it's probably some anniversary thing. And then maybe they did it again. I mean, they just would do that a lot in theaters. They put out old movies again because a lot of people hadn't seen them. We didn't have all these channels on the internet. We didn't have VHS tapes or DVDs or any of that back then. Really, the only place you could see it was either in the movie theater or someone had pirated a copy. And what that meant was they sat there with a handy cam and got just horrible quality of a movie. And that's what you could watch unless you saw it in the theater. So,
like Pirate Bay. You can just tape it. Like they do it over in Korea and stuff. And you can go to Pirate Bay, you can hack it. If a movie just came out, there's always somebody in Russia that's filming it, like a camera inside the movie theater.
And all of this is connected to the pandemic because right before they shut everything down, they made everyone join up with all these. Well, you got Apple TV, Hulu, Disney Plus, you got Netflix, Amazon. You got to join like 1,000 things to see the same things you used to see. And then sports. So what are they saying? They might not have any of the fans in the stands because most of the people watch sports at home. It's actually cheaper for the sporting companies to not have to run the stadiums. Of course, a lot of people are out of jobs, but who cares, right?
That goes back to Eric's theory about 5G. Eric's theory about 5G was they're building 5G because they're housing more things for you to watch on television. Exactly. So it's not killing birds; it's reserving a new spot in a fucking in the crystal, like Eric talked about, like short distance. People own pieces of that fucking cable. They own like all the fiber in there is being owned by a conglomerate. And so everyone's like, movies.
It's something I do want to talk to Eric one day because he does have a lot of knowledge on this 5G stuff. But my whole thing is whether or not 5G can or cannot harm you. We know that it does hit frequencies that are harmful. Yeah. We know that. Are they using it as a weapon? We don't know. We haven't found a bunch of people dead from 5G. Yeah. We just are afraid of it, just like all the other fear things. However, what we do know is exactly what you said. They're building this up because they want us in front of these boxes. Because if there's anywhere that's putting crap in our head and killing us, it's these boxes. And so they keep coming up with ways to get us in front of it. You want to watch sports? You got to sit in front of your box. You want to watch movies? You got to sit in front of your box. Yeah. Now you can go to the zoo in front of your box. My parents have watched the zoo. People walk through the zoo and you get to see the animals. You know what I mean? So it's like it's all about this, and they knew it was coming. And now, and again, that way they can total virtual signal constantly. Now we're all still racist. I think they're going to be painting Black Lives Matters on the basketball courts, and they're going to be putting Black Lives Matters sayings on their jerseys instead of their names. So that way, no matter where you go, you're going to get hit with this stuff, this agenda. Just like I can't turn a single thing on my computer without seeing COVID somewhere. Every freaking time, I don't care what it is. It always pops up.
Black Square matters. Black Square matters. We're gonna have if you're on the Black Square. Black Square matter. Now, I figured Eric would already be talking about we talk about 5G. Eric would be like, "Wait a minute, let me interrupt you guys. Let me tell you about 5G."
But you know what? It's something we have talked about on this. It's just like I know that there's aspects that are dangerous to it. That's fine, but it's beyond that. It's I think exactly what you said. It's more of the magician. Look at this hand, not seeing this hand. We're all worried that 5G is going to kill us. At the same time, we're not worried that 5G is just built on there so we can watch more TV, and that'll kill us faster.
Internet, I was driving around with Bob one day, and I was showing Bob all the towers that had like 5G equipment, 4G equipment. I was showing Bob the towers. Well, look, Bob, that tower is just not all 5G. There's other companies that rent the space up there too. Now, is it possible that somebody is putting a machine next to a 5G trying to say that's 5G is what's causing it? I guess you can, but I'm sorry, people. They're gonna change my mind saying 5G is using the whole network to kill animals, to kill this. Now, 5G is put there. You have data to process faster data, better pictures, better cameras for the government to rely on you. Now that
more TV, more TV, more internet, more TV, more movies.
Watch next year, in 2 years, guys. In 2 years, just like there's going to be a PS5, there's going to be a new Xbox. There's going to be a 6G. There's going to be a 7G.
And more channels, and more channels, and more channels.
In your house, just sit on the couch like Wally and eat your stuff that we send you to your house, and watch our TV until you die. And I'm not saying that 5G can't have some possibilities to hurt people. I agree. I've seen the videos, birds dying. I watched one the other day. Some kids are on a bridge, supposedly. I showed it to Eric, and all of a sudden these birds start. First they start taking craps on them, and then some reason the kids are vomiting and stuff. Well, I broke down that video. First of all, Eric told me these towers are rented, and he can go into that better. But besides the fact that you can't prove that that's what's doing it, you actually never see the kids get sick and vomit. They just make vomit noises, and then you see vomit on the ground. So they're just, it could be another complete psyop. We can't believe any of the crap that comes on here, especially this guy right here behind me. Don't believe anything I say.
The video you showed, that line was next to what? It was next to power lines.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
With the power lines? Hell yes. If a conductor is messed up on a power line, yes, that could cause frequencies to kill some birds. Yes, almost every single tower is next to regular power lines, but nobody's giving the power lines any credit. If you look through your history, power lines are known to give cancer if you live next to them. You're known to have issues. But why is now the power lines the safe thing? Nobody talks about power lines no more. It's all 5G now that's causing all these issues. It's like everybody forgot about the power line. It's like the government and the power companies got together and say, "Hey, let's get people off our ass so the for cancer. Let's say these 4Gs and 5Gs are what killing the animals, dude.
We need a couple of big birds."
Yeah, and how about the fact that Eric pointed out on that video too? I mean, I could look for it, but in any case, the top of the tower is blinking, and people were talking about it. See, there's some kind of remote thing, and Eric's like, you know what that means? That means that it's malfunctioning, and there was a lightning storm that was going on. It probably got hit or tweaked, and it's flashing to let people know it needs to be fixed. Yeah. That's what it was saying, but nobody knows that unless, like Eric, he knows this stuff.
Also, from aviation side, also some of those towers have plane flashing lights for planes. Also, so I'd add that to it too. So they actually have to have them for planes in certain areas towards an airport. So those 5G towers will have flashing lights. It's just for the airplanes. It doesn't do anything.
Yes, because there's a green light. There's a green light here. I know you can't see it because I have the green screen so you can't see it. When the battery is going low, when it malfunctions, there's a red light that blinks.
Oh, for the boosters.
Yeah. Well, it's not a booster. I can't tell you guys what this is for, but it's a tracking system for something else. But it blinks when it's low on battery or there's an issue. So towers, they have the same technology. It's the same thing.
And can you do me a favor when you're done showing that off? Can you put it back on Brian's car? Because, that's how we keep an eye on it.
Well, don't they have batteries, Eric? They have like actual car batteries on the towers, right? Like car batteries.
Well, it has to go through amplifiers, through the lines. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Amplifiers is okay. Now amplifiers is powered up by the power companies. It all powered up. But if the power goes out, how do you keep the internet on? Well, I know it's hard if you have the power out at your house, but technically, if you have a generator at your house, you can continue power. So say you have a generator at your house, but the power's out outside. Well, how is your internet and cable working? Once the power is out, it goes to the batteries, batteries. Ground. It's like backup generators to keep the power system going. Because you know how like hospitals, if the power goes out, they have generators to keep the power on.
Yeah.
For them to have the internet to keep working, it's running off batteries. So the batteries are backups.
Wait a minute. Now, you don't mean those are some kind of super governmental institution built fucking super battery killers?
No, these are actually just regular car batteries. We used to get people to steal them.
But Eric, it's 5G.
Now, and if you open up an amplifier, guys, there's regular fuses like it's in a car. If people say, well, all they got to do is crank up the power. Dude, if you crank up the power, you're going to blow every fuse in those amplifiers. Those amplifiers cannot control that much power. So I hate when people say, well, they just turn up the power. Well, the power companies could be turning up the power, but it ain't turning it up to those machines. Because listen, in every amplifier, if there's too much power, there's something in the amplifier that takes that power and lowers it on purpose so it can work and go through it. So cranking the power doesn't do anything.
Yeah. So other words, and 5G don't do anything to anybody. But
and that's the thing. We can look at the information that says, yes, it's a wavelength that it could be dangerous. I get that. But at the same time, it's almost like everything else. We know that CERN supposedly has a hydrogen smasher and is potentially creating these effects. No, I don't believe that at all. If the Mandela effect is real, which I believe it is, it's from God. It's the only way it works. Yeah. And the fact that we were told that 5G can be dangerous, then you can't just take the leap and say that's what they're going to do to kill us all. They're going to put in a tattoo thing, turn it on, and we're all dead. We don't know that. That's just theory. And once again, it's more kind of fear-based. And the more I talk to Eric, and the more I realize that if you wanted to do that, you would have to do it locally at every single little city or a building. You can do like one apartment maybe and make everyone there sick, maybe. But we don't even know that. We can't prove that. It hasn't happened. We know
locally, you could go to the tower and hook something up to it locally, yes. But to do it on an overall base, that's almost next to impossible. But you could cause locally. Now, how do you cause more damage in the world? Doing things more locally here, everywhere in a city, blocks. Mm-hmm. It looks like it's an overall thing, but it's really not. But you could do things on a local basis. You just can't do it all at once.
So like when I see the articles that there's a school and they put in 5G and all the kids got sick. Okay. I don't know. I mean, they got sick from something, but to take that leap that it was this, was that, it's almost like we're going back to what we used to do. We just accept things without actually researching. Is that possible? Maybe it is. Yeah. I don't know. But the fact is there's a lot of people in the truth community constantly talk about 5G. Do they know people that have gotten sick and died from 5G? And if they have, do they know it was 5G? A lot of places haven't even turned it on.
It's kind of like that weird thing that's going on the outside that apparently people have.
Yeah.
About it.
It's very similar in some ways.
People have actually been affected by it.
You're right.
Right.
Same.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to upset. I'm not even reading the chat because this is a subject. It's weird. You can't talk about Bigfoot. People get pissed. You can't talk about crystals. People get pissed. Mandela, sometimes they get pissed. 5G. Oh my God, that's a hot button. Even for quote truthers, we can't talk about it. You can't have a difference of opinion. Oh. You have to believe 5G is going to kill us all. That you might not. Why do we have to believe that? Can't we look into it? We haven't seen people flopping over from 5G yet. As far as I know, a lot of places don't even have it. And the places that do, if they're getting sick, well, have we tested the water? Have we seen what they're eating? Is there mold growing in the building? Is there power lines, as Eric said? I mean, we can't just immediately say, oh, that's what it was. See, they put in 5G and that guy got sick. You can't do that.
Did get sick, how come myself, who worked on these towers, never got sick?
You should be riddled with cancer at this point, right?
No, you should be dying right now. We used to go camping in an asbestos mine as kids growing up. We're fine.
Oh, yeah. Asbestos, lead paint. I mean, we're realizing a lot of these things. Again, you could put that to 5G. Supposedly, lead paint stops those waves, and that's why they got rid of it. Maybe. Yeah. Anything I say can be debunked or whatever by someone else as a theory. They still can't prove it either. We can't prove space and the shape of the earth. We can just theorize what it is. That's all we do.
Theory.
If you want people sick,
we can't, don't go out buying lead paint because we said it on the show, even though it does block radiation. And don't go getting asbestos, even though it stops fires, but it causes cancer.
Did I put a bunch of electronics in a Faraday cage that I made out of a trash can? Hell yeah. Do I need to? I don't know, but that's what I do. I just prepare for whatever. You're going to tell me that this is some EMP? All right, I'll put some shit in there.
If you want people
it's a lie. Asbestos is a lie, so don't put that on us.
If you're going to get people sick, you're going to use the power lines more than fiber, because fiber is just a light that goes through the lines. That's all fiber is. It's just a light. If you're going to get people sick, you're going to use the power lines more than you're going to use fiber. I'm just saying. It's
5G that is. But anyway, Eric and I went to Porky's and Eric didn't. I feel bad right now. Eric, as a kid, maybe you would have liked
worse if you saw the sequels, because I unfortunately did that too. But back then we didn't have internet. That was our porn, basically, right? If you're like a 10-year-old, 13-year-old kid, you go to see Porky's. Whatever it was. I don't remember what year it came out of.
Wait, was it the second one or the third one when they had the Jewish kid? The Jewish basketball player. He was beat up.
I don't remember him. I really don't remember. I remember the first one mostly, but that's about it. Then it was like, once again, like we were talking about earlier, the same movie. Oh, I recognize these characters in the name of this movie. I'll go see it. Yeah, that's why I end up all these crappy movies.
Porky's was 1981.
What's that?
Porky's was 1981.
81. So what was I was probably like 15, 14, 15, somewhere in there. 81. Perfect age to watch that movie.
And Porky's 2 was 1983.
It was Porky's 3 too, right?
Yeah, there's 3 Porkies. Yes.
I don't think I even remember the third one. So.
Who
I don't
was-
even remember the second one actually. So I mean, I remember it exists. I remember it exists.
We saw like that back in those days, like Last American Virgin,
Oh yeah.
Revenge of the Nerds, like Eric's cover. All the remember we joked about Revenge of the Nerds. Didn't he technically drug her?
Yeah.
And rape?
Dude, all these movies were horrible. The one you guys made me rewatch, which I used to, what was it? Zapped. I mean, there was like all kinds of things. There was people being forced to be kissed, and there was just a lot of weird stuff that went down. There was a weird thing with a teacher and a student, which they did all the time. We had private lessons. Hell, Risky Business was a bunch of kids that were like hookers were taking over. Great movie, but when you look back at them, and somebody even mentioned Indiana Jones, one of the greatest movies ever, and he was a freaking pedophile. And he even talks about it in the movie. She was 14 when he was raping her.
Or Matthew Stone, Matthew Stone, when they're both sliding down the mud hill. She falls into the water first, and then Michael Douglas falls right between her legs, and then he picks her head. Is that grin? Like he went.
You can't do that now. You can't do that. Yeah, right now you can't make any of them kind of videos.
Like he'd have to be doing an apology tour after that.
Yeah, you know how many YouTubers I've been watching all these YouTubers go back over their videos, and they've been like all these they have like millions of subs, and now they're having to go back saying I was doing a blackface skit, and now I'm sorry for doing that. That was 5 years ago. And they're removing their videos.
Do you guys think that movie Pretty Woman could have been made now and be a hit? Pretty Woman is that movie where what's her name?
Yeah, Julia Roberts and what's that other handsome
If
dude?
that movie now, that movie would be like, how can she make a movie about being a prostitute? There's no way that movie could have been made now.
They might not. They might have been able to make that one. I'm sure there's a lot.
Yeah,
I don't know if they would. Hooker?
No,
I don't know.
I think it was done in such a.
But Richard Gere raises her up to being better than a hooker. I don't know.
I think it did it in such a gentle way that it didn't come off as dirty. It came off as
I
romantic.
just want to know if anybody wants to buy one of these for like $50. So
Promote it, man. You got those cool ass asteroids or meteorites. You get those on the market.
You know what? No joke though. I mean, because everyone's talking about it, I actually started a little tiny store. There's just like mugs and stuff. I mail it mostly for myself, so I can like drink out of a ceiling fan mug or my wife.
No, you should, man. You should. You should. We need. I said logistics. There is no logistics going yet. We need logistics. We need property. We need like thousands of acres so we can become like a smart people land. All the Mandela effect people can become smart people in that one place. We can all have smart conversations. We can save the planet.
I like
one hacky sack at a time. No hacky sacks. No hacky sacks allowed. I like hacky sacks though. I like frisbee. Volleyball, as long as they're shorty shorts. That's okay for me too. Not for me though. I wear long shorts. Girls wear shorty shorts when we play volleyball. It's required.
Oh, you know what I couldn't believe? I never knew Bob never saw. Bob was watching a movie a couple days ago, and Bob said he never saw this before. And I'm like, how the hell you never saw the movie The Room? That's considered the worst movie made of all time. Tommy
The Room
was it? I'm like, everybody's seen this movie, but Bob's never seen The Room.
I've never seen that. I've never heard of the movie.
And they just did a movie with James Franco where he played that part.
The Disaster Artist.
I watched it.
Yeah.
I watched it. And then Eric showed. I go, I've never seen this movie. I've never heard of this movie, and I'm a nerd, and I've just never heard of it.
Yeah, my kids were obsessed with it. They watched it all the time because it's so bad it's funny.
Oh yeah, I watched it. It was like I loved it. I was like, this is like so bad that I love it. I can't stop watching it. I go, this is perfect. I mean, this is like so stupid. It reminds me of modern movies. It literally watching this movie and then watching the movies made now, everything's so Tom Cruised that I can't watch TV. I'm like, everything's Tom Cruised. I can't watch Westerns no more. I can't watch the cartoons.
That's it.
I can't watch anything anymore. It reminds me of the movie The Room. I was like, everything reminds me of this movie now. It's so cheesy. The takes are bad. The clips are bad. The sets are bad.
Oh, hey, Mark. That's what the kids always do. Oh, hey, Mark.
The CGI is so bad. I mean, even everything is so bad. You sit there, I'm just going, oh my god, this is like the movie.
It was some dude that had a ton of money and nobody actually knows where it's from. So it's just a really weird story to begin with. Even how it came about.
Nobody knows how old he is.
He's Cajun or something. I saw the actual movie. Yeah. I illegally downloaded it on Pirate Bay, so I was like, I'm committing a crime. But anyway, I got
is that thing around anymore? Pirate Bay? Is that gone?
Oh yeah, there's back doors. There's like, in the defecationist circles, there's always back doors.
Oh, good.
We know about back doors, so there's back doors into Pirate Bay. I can still get anything I want. I can get any clips.
It moved to a new country, and they restarted up at a new country.
Pirate Bay is still existing. You just got to know how to get in there, and then you still get it. Anybody who has any Pirate Bay, anybody who took any video from Pirate Bay, which is pretty much the whole back of the turtle,
yeah, right.
Your computer is vulnerable. It's a back door for anybody going into your computer. So if you don't want to be hacked, well, you better throw away your computer if you've downloaded any movie from Pirate Bay.
I didn't know that. Night at the
I broke the fourth wall, dude.
A night at the Roxbury. Oh, okay.
A night at the Roxbury. I thought it was night at the Roxbury.
Now it's a night at the Roxbury.
No, it's night at the Roxbury.
Yeah, that's a new one for me. Night. Yeah. That's funny. I said I broke the fourth wall, and then I saw you're talking to the fourth wall. That's kind of funny.
Until Tom Cruise goes to the ISS.
It's just making it worse. If you see Tom Cruise on the ISS, our joke is going to go all the way to space. Everyone in the flat Earth, in the Mandela effect community, is going to laugh their ass off. Like, oh, the ISS has just gotten Tom Cruise, so it's completely bullshit. It's completely lame.
Now, remember, Tom Cruise is in talks with Elon Musk to make part of his Mission Impossible movie in space.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, it's because they're on the same soundstage, probably.
Yeah. So Tom Cruise, Mr. Pink Shirt himself, is going to hook up with Dollface with a fake car in space, and we're going to see a space movie. Okay, yeah, that's
in which his company is funded also by the government. So we'd be paying for a movie to see Tom Cruise in space.
I think we should put money together, a petition to get this made, because who doesn't want to see Nicolas Cage as Superman? He was supposed to play Superman.
Yes. Yes, there's actually a cool documentary called The Death of Superman. And it's about this documentary, and there's footages of him in the backstage dressing up for the Superman movie.
Yeah, this is it.
Wow.
Direct that movie?
He looks.
Direct it?
He looks like the guy in the movie The Room.
Okay, but Bob.
He does. He looks
like the guy. If you took the guy from the movie The Room and put a Superman uniform on him, he'd be like that.
Who was supposed to direct this movie? Do you guys know? Tim Burton. Tim Burton was supposed to direct this movie. There's a documentary called The Death of Superman, and it's about behind the scenes of Tim Burton directing this movie. He had him in dressing up. And this is the movie where he dies. Nicolas Cage is supposed to die in it, and he comes back. A machine puts a bodysuit over him to bring him back to life.
So you're saying that if this movie came out, if Tim Burton made Superman, we would also be listening to Danny Elfman music?
Yes.
Oh my God! So Superman and Danny Elfman music, does that go together?
I don't know where you can find it, but it's called The Death of Superman, and there's footages of them dressing up for Superman. There's real footage.
I would love to see that movie. It'd be way more entertaining. Now they can hire the guy from The Room and to put a uniform.
Yeah, they should. He's like, "Oh, hey, Lois."
Hello, Lois. Hey, Lois. Hey, Lois. You look good today. Takes his glasses off and just like shakes his hair and then runs and jumps out the window.
And if anybody wants to have fun, sometime when you get a chance, go online and look up Nicolas Cage movies. I had no idea he's made so many. He's literally made thousands. He'll make anything. I think we could call him and he'd make a movie for us. And there's some of the most ridiculous pictures of movie covers I've ever seen. He's just so fun to look into that. So
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Nicolas Cage has been in a lot of movies, but there's movies that I have never seen. That he was in an airplane movie. Now, hear me out here.
Wait, airplane?
He was a pilot in an airplane. He's kind of a dick. He's cheating on his wife. He's just kind of a schmucky ass pilot, just dirty ass pilot. So he's flying a plane in this movie that I have never seen before. It just came out not too long ago, and people in the plane were disappearing. They disappeared. Like people were disappearing in the plane, and all the like children were just disappearing. Old people disappearing. So half of the people in the plane disappeared. So everyone's having a panic attack. So the captain's like, "What's going on?" And then he gets communication in on the plane that the entire world, half of the people had just disappeared, like raptured. They figured out they were being
that
raptured.
was called like Next or something. I'm trying to.
Yeah, he's a pilot,
that.
and people got raptured in the plane.
I remember that.
I'm like, what is this movie? Nicolas Cage, what are you doing? He weighs the weirdest movies, and I go, I've never seen this movie.
Look at, where is it? Are we on here? Oh wait, you're on showing Eric. You're showing something. What is that?
No, that's
No.
documentary. The documentary is called "The Death of Superman Lives: What Happened," and it has Tim Burton, Kevin Smith. They interviewed Kevin Smith, Tim Burton, because originally Kevin Smith was supposed to write that Superman movie, but then they took it away from Kevin Smith and they gave it to Tim Burton. And
Kevin Smith.
There's a whole documentary about that movie, Richard. It's actually
bizarre. Yeah, that's cool. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, there's somebody I think is probably got college humor. I think they do a whole thing where it's funny if you can find it. It's movies that are offered to Nicolas Cage. And he turns nothing down. Nothing in the.
God, yeah.
I mean, look at some of these. This one's
He's
fairly new
turned
color
nothing
space. What's Primal? I don't know if they.
He turned nothing down. That's funny. He just took every role.
Score to Settle, Mom and Dad. Mandy. And he always looks so brooding no matter what, Looking Glass, Grand Isle. And if you read some of the things, here's the one you were talking about, Knowing. That's the one.
Yeah, that's weird, man. Yeah. I had never seen. What year did that come out?
2009.
Okay, I've never seen it.
But look at all these Vengeance, A Love Story, 211. What the hell is that? The Trust, Rage. Seeking Justice,
He reminds me of David Bowie. He reminds me of the Beatles with all those extra. Remember, you and I were talking about the Beatles songs that we've never heard of. Just come out of nowhere.
Let's Pay the Ghost, and look at this.
No,
Humanity Hero. The names are terrible too.
His last hit movie was when he voiced one of the Spider-Mans in the Spider-Man verse cartoon at the theater.
Oh, wow.
He was the black and white. He was the black and white Spider-Man in that Spider-Verse movie.
See, now I'm confused, Robert, because here's the movie I remember Next, but then we were talking about that thing Knowing. So it's one. I don't know what the difference is of those two movies. They kind of similar covers.
He has a lot of similar movies. It had a lot of similar themes to it. That's ironic. He had a lot of similar themes about like the end days or the Knowing and then the Resurrection movie. He's doing all these weird movies like that.
Literally, how does he have enough time in the day to do all these? It's incredible.
I don't have to. Again, David Bowie come out with all these. He died in 2016. Bullshit. He died at the early millennium for me. He died way back. And so all these songs with David Bowie and all these people taking pictures with David Bowie. And I'm like, when the fuck did this happen?
Kick the dog in the
2015. What? What?
Tom Cruise thought that's funny.
Well, apparently the story goes that he spent most all his money and he's about to go bankrupt. So he had to make all these movies just to make them because he's not no more. So he was just making movie after movie because he basically almost spent all his money.
Yeah, his uncle's a famous director with millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And his little nephew don't need a few fucking pennies. Come on, man.
Yeah. They could just give him part of the winery if they wanted to, right? Don't they have
right. No, he's what, Scorsese? He went to high school in fucking Hollywood. He went to Hollywood High School.
Yeah.
You know, and he went to Hollywood High School with a whole bunch of fucking Hollywood fucking.
Sure, that's another. Yeah, we know that.
Yeah, whole group of them, man. Now they're remaking Valley Girl. We go back to that again. We should put him back in Valley Girl.
Yeah, right. Put him in Valley. Isn't that the weirdest thing? What movie I absolutely loved back in the day was Bill and Ted, the first one. Again, again, the sequel that was real sucky. But now they're making a third one, and the problem is it's guys like our age, and they're acting like surfer dudes still. Like absolutely nothing's changed in their life. They're still like it's just painful to even watch the trailer.
Yeah. It's about they haven't made that one song that changed the world yet. So the third one is about making that song, and so they're gonna go through time in the future to find out what's that song, so they can write it in the past.
Gee, ironically, right around the Mandela effect, fucking whatever spike we're getting, they're gonna come out with a movie about them going through time and then showing up as teenagers and thinking it's so fucking over the top. Bullshit. Everything is so scripted. It's so scripted.
You reminded me of something also, Eric, about we were talking about all the stuff, the agendas and the movements and stuff. Another thing I just heard that they're going to be doing not just the national anthem at football games. Remember how everyone was all pissed off they're playing the national anthem, whether you're going to stand or kneel? Well, now they're going to play the national anthem, and I'm assuming everyone's going to stand. Who knows? Who gives a crap? But now they're also going to play the Black Lives Matter anthem, which I didn't know there was one. They're picking some song, and they're going to play that first or after. I mean, again, it's just more to just stir people up to fight each other.
And got one thing they're also going to do. They're going to show all the names of all of them who got killed by a cop.
Oh God!
Yes.
You're right.
They just suck the joy out of anything. Not that I watch football anymore, but just like anywhere people want to just get away from the world, they're going to just smack you with whatever they want in there.
This place is so fucking fake. I love it. It's so fake.
It is.
I can't believe how fake it is. It's like I get a comic book to me, man. It doesn't shock me no more. All of a sudden, there's a new Corona fucking times 2000. The Corona 2000 is now making its way in. And you're like, okay, what's next? You know, okay, it's bullshit.
And that's why when people ask me, like, how am I so darn happy on my stuff? Well, you got to. What are you going to do? You're either going to sit at home and freak out about all this or turn it around and realize, like you said, it's freaking hilarious. Murder hornets. I mean, come on, murder hornets, or just throw everything at us. And if they don't buy it, then don't worry, we'll come up with something else. Hey, we'll let some idiot take over 6 blocks in Seattle. Oh, okay, that didn't work out so well. All right, we'll stop that. Let's go with something else. It's just one thing I've noticed, the big comic book.
I'm waiting for swine flu to come back. I'm thinking swine flu's overdue. I'm thinking maybe some Spanish flu. Maybe it's overdue. We got a lot of shit.
Somebody better timestamp this because it'll come back and then we can look back on this show.
Wait for the next round.
We are gonna wind it down, but so everybody's gonna have the last word. But how many more shows is Selling Fan Man gonna be on until Friday?
Well, I'm pretty much going to be on everybody's show until then, so just keep an eye out for me. No, I'm sort of talked out, and I'm tired, and I'm sure people are sick of seeing me on TV.
I like what Richard was saying because Rose was asking him, "Oh, we should do this like every week," and he's like, "Well, I got myself so on every other show."
I love her to death. She is just such an amazing, just a triumph in this community. When you look at all the struggles that she's doing and that she's victorious over, and she's probably one of the happiest, smiliest faces that ever exists on this screen. And she is a beacon for us to know that no matter what's wrong in our life, we can turn it around and we can make it good. And we can figure it out. And that's why we're all here.
I'm not buying it. I don't care. I'm not on your guys' bandwagon. I'm not buying it. My daughter had a beautiful smile, and she was tough as nails on the inside. That smile just holds you back. I bet she can kick your ass, though.
Oh, I didn't say she couldn't do that. No, I'm always nice to her because I know she
smiles that hold people back, but they're actually like the toughest people on the inside.
That's the only thing keeping her from ripping my head off is her smiling.
Yeah,
it's a happy virus because when you see her smile, it just makes you feel good,
doesn't it?
It does.
It
does. She just has that smile like, oh my God, my life ain't that bad. Look at her smile.
No. Just I see her smile. I know my ass can get kicked. That's what I see that.
We literally talked about she's in a chariot, and then with all the stuff going on, like they ruined her house and they stole some money and they took a guitar and yet she showed up on my show and she was like just herself, just boom, like turns on and she can be that person. So that's a very strong person and something that really helps this whole community. 100%.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, all the way. So, Bob, you got anything to say before we end this?
No, I'm eating
Has
spam.
your rectum grew any bigger, or is it still?
Rectum, I threw together a little bit of the book thing about that. You guys can look up that stuff, debunk it, throw it away. I don't care what you do with it. We went through a couple of cool, we think Mandela effects. We think, probably mostly not. You guys take the information, remember, don't remember, who cares, throw it away.
Yeah. And again, anything that we've said, if it's 5G, if it's Mandela, look, it's our thoughts. They don't have to be yours. If you don't like it, that's fine.
Yeah.
But we're not here to like fight each other. We're here as a community to figure this shit out.
Yeah,
so,
and don't go be buying no lead-based paint because we're joking about it not being cancerous. Go out there and buy a handful of it. Don't go investing in asbestos. Just because I never got cancer from it. We were
bad move.
Our whole life in asbestos mines. But don't be going gathering it up thinking it's going to be worth money. Don't be doing shit like that.
No. But get a hat and sunglasses.
Get a hat and sunglasses, yes.
Until next time, people. Oh, shit. I think I just froze.
We'll see you on Friday. Are we going Friday? We'll see you Friday.
Yeah. Oh, well, guys, I'll see you back on Friday. Have a good